are still going. Thank you so much, Zero. The making of MGS4. Did you find it in that one, or is it the one that's called Hideo Kojima's Gene MGS4 documentary? Is it in that one? Shit, which one is it? The video also contains all the fake ads that you see in the intro of the game. Oh, nice. Oh, this one's 36 minutes. I want to play it anyway, but... Is this the one with Kojima bug hunting the snow off the ledges and... Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, I always talk about this one too, because this shows you Kojima's attention to detail while playtesting and, you know, how he reacts to bugs and communicates with the QA team back and forth. And that went down the fucking drain, of course. Then maybe it's a bad humans one. Well, let's find out. All right.
チル。小島監督はプロモーションのビジュアルコンセプトにこの言葉を選んだ。
僕が手掛けた最初のメタルギアっていうのがこのスネークのサーガーをシリーズということで、それがとりあえず今回。
God damn it, YouTube. Double subtitles.
プロモーションのビジュアルコンセプトにこの言葉を選んだ。
僕が手掛けた最初のメタルギアっていうのがこのスネークの
Signifies the end of the series under my direction.
シリーズということで、それがとりあえず
Sure
今回
does.
終わるという宣言でのチルですね。花が散った後っていうのはその種子が飛ぶわけですよ。もうスネークの体の中にある種子がいろんな DNA が飛んで、それが火星の中を漂いながら新しい新天地で実を結ぶっていう、そういう思いのチルです。
What is the point of these
い
double
ろんな遺伝
subtitles?
子とかを皆さんに受け継いでもらって、次の世代のクリエイターが、メタルを継続していってくれたらいいなという
Next generation of game
内なる
designers.
思いというかそういうのがあります。
Yeah. Poor Hideo trying to pass on this game with each new game, passing on the series.
小島プロダクションは200名近い大所帯。デザイン、プログラム、スクリプト、サウンド、いずれも業界トップクラスのクリエイター集団。広大なフロアの一番奥に小島監督のブースがある。ここから全てのアイディアが生み出される。
僕の席がちょっと汚いです。ここです。ここです。で、
PS3. Nice.
ゲームをチェックしながら。
Right now, I'm checking the game for bugs.
一個一個。
You can do that for 5 minutes.
性とか、ここは音はこう性とかっていうのを書いていく
For
んで、
Phantom Pain, huh?
こうタコができてしまうので、こうつけていましたが、こうかな。
そのすぐ近くにあるのが新川洋二のブース。
キャラデザイン、メカデザイン、アートデザインの新川洋二さんの部屋です。こんにちは。こんにちは。
2人は長年にわたり共にメタルギアを作り上げてきた戦友だ。
いつもと変わらないんですけど、シリーズ通して、キャラクターデザインと
Why doesn't Shinkawa have subtitles?
設定というか、
This is stupid. Subtitles are
して
stupid.
絵の部分全般を監修するという仕事ですね。
しかし PS3 という新しいハードにより新川の作業量は膨大に膨れ上がっていた。
Fuck it.
ライティングとかの作業をしていく上では今までの PS2 とかに比べると、下手したら10倍ぐらいの、時間がかかってるのかなという気がしますね。出せなくはないけど全然完成してない状態。
作業量の増
Oh,
加は
what'd he
ハ
say?
ードによるものだ
What'd
け
you
では
say,
ない。
Shinkawa? What?
キャラクターデザイナーの増加は
はないけど全然完成。
It's not that we can't release the game. It just simply isn't close to being complete yet. So you can release it while it's incomplete. Hmm. Ah. Does the 2-hour one include this stuff, Bad Humans, or is it a different one? Wait, did you really find it? um. Oh, okay. I thought it was separate. Okay, okay. We'll definitely go for that one then if it includes it. Hold up. Shinkawa looking high as fuck. He's actually talking about the future. Here we go. Shinkawa predicted. Take a screenshot of this shit. No, it's not that we can't release the game. It's just isn't close to being complete yet. Alright. Fuck it, we'll put a 2-hour one then. Hold on. I thought it was separate, but if it just includes everything, then there's no point in playing it twice. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Is it part of the... Is it part of the 2-hour one, Bad Humans? GLRD. No, it's not this one. Oh, it's the Metal Gear. Finally. Okay, this one's 30 minutes. Okay, because it makes sense. He talks about all the games in this one. And when it gets to MGS1 at 18 minutes, it's the fat kid with jeans.
例えば、
Let's use an overweight child, for example. Fucking Kojima, man. Here we go. Let's use an overweight child, for example.
自分の両親は運
He
動
might
が
tell
できない
himself because his
から
parents
自
are
分
as
も
good
で
at
きないと
sports. He
思い
wouldn't be
込んでる
either.
まあそうなのかもしれま
Now,
せんけ
that
ど
kid might very
そうじゃ
well
な
be
いかもし
right
れない
about
の
this,
で
but he
そう
could
い
be
うメ
wrong
タル
too.
ギアをやった時に
Hopefully the chubby kid finishes
まあ
Metal Gear
明日
Solid.
運動会
Hopefully he'll
で
think to
夏休み
himself,
しようと思っ
maybe
て
I
た
will
の
go
が
to the
明日ちょっ
sports
と走って頑
competition
張ってみようかな
tomorrow.
というそういうことをでも思ってくれたらっていうので、まあ
Oh, fuck. I was reading the subtitles, so I didn't see it. Does he
ま
gesture
あそうなのかもしれませんけど動画
the fat kid?
例えば、ちょっと太った子がいてですね自分の、ね
Fat-
例えば、ちょっと太った子
Okay, so it's not an MGS4 documentary. It's hold on. Kojima trolls fat kids. Okay, let's watch this whole thing. But yeah, it's nice. Thank you so much, Becky. Let's always talk about it. I can never find it. It's just a document. Where's the document of MGS3, Kojima, huh? The one. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Bad Humans. Volume 1. Oh my god, it's been chronological. Ugh. 1. MGS 3 is 1 out of 5 stars. Sorry, guys.
Metal Gear, a fearsome fictional weapon that threatens the world with nuclear holocaust, serves as both the basis and the title for one of the most celebrated franchises in interactive entertainment. The creation of director Hideo Kojima, the Metal Gear saga spans 5 groundbreaking games and a series of spin-offs that have combined to sell tens of millions of copies worldwide. Since its debut in 1987, the Metal Gear story has spawned a rich and unforgettable world full of fascinating characters, epic conflicts, and futuristic themes. But as Kojima and his team began preparations for the 3rd game in the Metal Gear Solid series, Snake Eater, the clock was turned back in time, giving gamers a glimpse into this saga's genesis. Released in North America and Japan for the PlayStation 2 console in 2004, and in Europe the following year, Snake Eater was met with enormous commercial and critical acclaim. Critics and fans alike applauded the game for its unique survival-based gameplay, stunning visuals, and powerful narrative. Set in the jungles of Russia, Snake Eater reveals a formative chapter in the life of Big Boss, father and later foe of series protagonist Solid Snake. The year is 1964, and international spies have replaced infantry soldiers on the invisible battlefield known as the Cold War.
63年から4年っていうのがやっぱりケネディの暗殺があったりですね、ベトナム戦争があったりとか、そこからどんどんアメリカが暗い時代に入っていくというその端境期ということなんで、その時代を選びました。
In an 11th hour agreement between the United States and the Soviet Union, the U.S. government, hoping to abate the Cuban Missile Crisis, negotiates the return of Soviet scientist Nikolai Sokolov to the communist bloc. Crucial to shifting the tides of the Cold War, Sokolov is the target of a former Special Forces agent assigned to bring him back to American soil. That agent, a Green Beret named Jack, is codenamed Naked Snake. As with every installment in the series, Kojima populated Snake Eater with a colorful cast of characters. While the early appearance of the treacherous Revolver Ocelot was sure to please fans, no character played a more pivotal part in Jack's story than his mentor, the Boss. This mysterious woman warrior symbolized one of Snake Eater's most essential themes, maternity.
これまで不正のドラマばっかりを作ってきましたんで、ここで母性のドラマを作ってみようかなということで、今回はその父親じゃなくて母親としての存在、なので、ザ・ボスは女性というようなことになりました。
It's through this mother-son relationship that Snake Eater's narrative shifts from a straightforward 60s-style spy caper into an intricate tale of love, loyalty, and the call of the mission. But defining the unusual relationship between Jack and the Boss would prove to be a challenge.
そこで、スネークの、母親であり恋人であり師匠であるっていう非常に微妙なニュアンスをどうやって出すのかなっていうので悩んだんですけども、やっぱり母性っていうのを一番強く出さないといけないので、最初はですね片方のおっぱいを出して、出したまま、要はその母乳をあげる母親のようにそういうイメージで出したまま戦うっていうそういう設定でしたね。最初の時は、この胸のところに、蛇の入れ墨があって銃を撃つと揺れますよね。で入れる、胸を見た人が、その蛇が笑ってるっていうようなですね、そういう感じでその笑う蛇を見たやつは必ず死んでしまうみたいなそういう伝説があるというかそういう設定でした。
Even though Kojima's initial concept for the Boss was discarded, she remains a truly unforgettable character. In more ways than one, the Boss defined Jack, who would go on to best her in battle and assume her title. Jack would eventually resurface as the mysterious antagonist of the next chapter of the Metal Gear saga. Although the original Metal Gear was the first game released in the long-running series, its narrative picks up where the events of Snake Eater leave off,
What?
delving deeper into the troubled life of
What?
Jack, known then simply as Big Boss.
What?
A young Hideo Kojima found himself creating the first Metal Gear on
1000.
assignment from Konami Management.
What?
He was asked to create a combat-driven game, not for the new and powerful NES console, but for the MSX2 home computer, a system with a much smaller user base than Nintendo's popular platform.
当時のハードでは、敵が横に3人並ぶともう弾が出ないという状況でしたので、プレイヤーと敵でこう打ち合いしながら進むっていうのはほぼ不可能だったんですけども、不可能であればどうしたらいいかということで、敵が3人しかいなくても、戦争ゲームといいますかそのコンバットゲームのような、世界をですね表現できる方法は何かということを探した結果が、メタルギアとその戦うんじゃなくて逃げるゲームで逃げるゲームであればその敵はそんなに戦闘状態とそんなありませんので、敵はそんなにいらないということで、思いついたのがきっかけですね。
Unprecedented in its approach, Metal Gear shipped for the MSX2 platform in Japan in 1987. With its tension-filled hide-and-seek style of play, the game was immediately applauded by Japanese gamers. But it wasn't until the next year, when Metal Gear was ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System, that something unexpected happened.
ファミコンの部署の人たちが僕を抜きでですね作ったのがファミコン版です。全く関与してません。
I had absolutely nothing to do with this game.
そうはいえですねファミコン版で出て全世界で発売されてアメリカで特に100万本売れまして非常にヒット飛ばしたということです。で僕は関係ないんですけどやってみるとですねなんとメタルギア出てこないと大きなモニターしか出てこないということで僕の中ではクソゲーですね。
That game was complete
While the
garbage.
NES version of Metal Gear was the bigger success, the original MSX2 version of Metal Gear serves as
He
canon
knows.
in the Metal Gear saga. Set in the year 1999, it was this game which first introduced the series' longtime protagonist, Solid Snake. As a new recruit, Snake is ordered on a top-secret stealth mission by the founder and leader of U.S. Special Forces Unit Foxhound, the legendary warrior, Big Boss. The target, Outer Heaven, a hostile South African country that threatens to unleash a nuclear strike upon the world by means of the mobile nuclear arsenal known only as Metal Gear.
僕らの世代はやっぱりその核兵器っていうのが非常にずっとあってですね、いつか核戦争があるんじゃないかっていうそういう、当時の恐怖ですね。僕らの子供の時代の恐怖っていうのはもう核戦争っていうのがあったのでまずそれをみんなに伝えたいというのがあって核兵器なんですけども単なる核兵器では面白くないので、やっぱり、当時のアメリカソ連、の核マップといいますか、ミサイルとですね ICBM と、潜水艦と、空ですねその3つしかなかったんですよ。で陸地を移動できる核兵器というのは全然なかったので、それがあったらいろんなことで、驚きがあるんじゃないかということで、陸地をどこでも移動できてどこからでも撃てる、核搭載歩行戦車というちょっと二足歩行というのは怪しいんですけども、そういうのを考えてそれを核にして物語を作ったということです。
At the beginning, Solid Snake is updated on his mission objectives by his commanding officer, Big Boss. But after a series of foiled attempts to coax Snake into capture, a conspiracy is revealed. Big Boss has defected and is moonlighting as the mercenary mastermind of Outer Heaven. On his own behind enemy lines, Snake is left with no option but to venture deeper into Outer Heaven, disarm and destroy Metal Gear, and confront his former commander. This complex tale of hide-and-seek serves as both the origin of the Metal Gear series and of the stealth genre as well.
What year was this made? We only got 2 games left, so there was no MGS4. Yeah, Kojima's young as fuck in this shit.
It was with Metal Gear 2 that the saga took a drastic and ultimately unofficial turn, beginning with a follow-up to the original NES game.
ファミコンの部署で続編が作られると。当然僕は関与してませんので。
Naturally, yeah.
でそのタイトルが、スネーク・リベンジというタイトルです。これで、アメリカで発売されました。で、それを作ってたスタッフがたまたま帰りに一緒になってまして、で、その子がたまたま MSX 版のですね、ファンで、自分は今こういうものを作ってる。
Oh, there's a volume 2 as well. That's right.
本当のメタルではないのでっていうか、僕がいないので、本当のメタルを作ってほしいということを帰り電車の中で聞かされまして、で本当はその違うゲームを作る予定で違う曲を考えてたんですけども、それを聞いて
He was already trying to make another game back then.
家に着くまでに企画が出来上がってしまったということで、次の日に会社に新しい企画書を出して作ったのがメタルギア2、ソリッドスネークですね。
But while this sequel was greeted with even greater acclaim than the first Metal Gear, the game was relegated to a Japan-only distribution for 15 years. Until now, with the release of Metal Gear Solid 3: Subsistence. The game is set 1 year before the turn of the millennium. Dr. Kyo Marv, a Czech scientist, is on the brink of discovering an efficient solution to the world's severe energy crisis. Led by Big Boss, a rogue group of mercenaries has taken Dr. Marv hostage, amassed a nuclear stockpile, and secured themselves in the fictional Zanzibar land. Once again, Solid Snake is called into action to infiltrate their stronghold, battle Big Boss, and dismantle a new threat, Metal Gear D. After successfully sabotaging Metal Gear D and Big Boss's plans, Snake slips away to take refuge in the Alaskan wilderness, concluding the lost chapter of the Metal Gear saga. The debut of the PlayStation console and its ability to support 3D games would forever change the world of Metal Gear. Following the release of the first 2 Metal Gear titles for the MSX console, Hideo Kojima and his team went to work on Policenauts, an adventure game released only in Japan.
その後アドベンチャーゲームを作ってたんですけども、プレイステーションという、ハードの噂が聞こえてきまして、どうやらですね、低温で 3D ポリゴンが扱えると、もう当時で言うと夢のような話なんですけども、でそれを聞いた時に最初に浮かんだのがメタルギアですね。
Sony's PlayStation not only took Metal Gear from 2 dimensions into 3, but its CD-based media enabled a more cinematic presentation, including an impressive soundtrack and full voiceovers for characters. Metal Gear Solid finds Snake living in seclusion in Alaska, following his battle with his father, Big Boss, in Metal Gear 2. The year is 2005. A covert Black Ops group, Foxhound, has seized Shadow Moses, an offshore Alaskan army base, housing a new, deadlier Metal Gear, dubbed Rex. Leading Foxhound is none other than Solid Snake's brother, Liquid Snake, whom, like Solid, was cloned from genetic materials taken from Big Boss. With Rex's nuclear payload targeting Washington, D.C., Solid Snake must infiltrate the base and once again defuse a global threat. Joining Liquid Snake in his bid for power is none other than Shalashaska, better known as Ocelot. Here, as with his debut in Metal Gear Solid 3: Snake Eater, Ocelot treads a fine ethical line, double and even triple crossing his allies as part of his own agenda.
僕はその西部劇とかマカロニウエスタン大好きなんですけども、メタルといえば現代劇であるけども、テーマとしては西部劇ですね。でオセロと特にその中核をなす人なんで、僕リー・バンクリフのファンなんで、リー・バンクリフのようなキャラクターということで、オセロットが出てくると。
Following the successful completion of his mission at Shadow Moses, Snake makes his escape, accompanied by important new additions to the growing Metal Gear pantheon. Meryl Silverberg, a rookie U.S. operative, and loyal computer programmer Otacon.
このゲーム当時のゲームユーザーってほぼオタクと言われてた時代なんです。今はライトユーザーが多いですけども、それを卑下するわけじゃなくて、ある種オタクも知識を武器にして人の役に立てるっていうことをみんなに伝えたかったし、ゲームファンっていうことをもっと誇りを持ってほしいっていうのがあって、そのオタコンというキャラを作ったんですよね。で彼だけが銃を取らずに、自分の知識と、いろんなアイテムとかを使って戦っている人なので、僕は非常に好きなキャラクターですね。
With its cinematic visuals and full voiceover presentation, Metal Gear Solid expanded the franchise's breadth and depth. Solid Snake's quest to topple Metal Gear Rex and defeat his brother spins a storyline touching on many serious topics, including nuclear proliferation, cloning, and this essential message from director Hideo Kojima.
ソリッドシリーズは
Fuck the
その
fat kids.
親から子に何を伝えるかっていう次世代に伝えるものっていうのが
Fuck fat
テーマなんですけども、最初の時は一番分かりやすいものは何かというとその遺伝子ですよね。やっぱり遺伝子を残すために、生殖活動があって、こう育ててっていうのがそういう輪廻が繰り返されるので、そこにスポットを当ててあらゆるキャラクターとかストーリーとか伏線をその遺伝子という一点に集中させるような作り方をしました。簡単に言うとですね、例えば、ちょっと太った子がいてですね、自分の両親は運動ができないから自分もできないと思い込んでると、そうなのかもしれませんけどそうじゃないかもしれないんで、そういう子がメタルギアをやった時に、明日運動会でずる休みしようと思ってた子が明日ちょっと走って頑張ってみようかなという、そういうことをでも思ってくれたらっていうので、そういう願いを込めてですねメタルを作ったということです。
Metal Gear Solid would become one of the best-selling, most highly revered games in history.
Hold on. Because he says...
そうじゃないかもしれないんで、そういう子がメタルギア
Hopefully the chubby kid finishes Metal Gear Solid. Oh, okay. Nice frame to pause on. Kojima fat shaming or
をやった
something.
時に、明日運動会でずる休みしようと思ってた子が明日ちょっと走って頑張ってみようかなという、そういうことをでも思ってくれたらっていうので、そういう願いを込めてですねメタルを作ったということです。
Metal Gear Solid would become one of the best-selling, most highly revered games in history.
Talk about the best one now.
Inspired and empowered by the international success of the first Metal Gear Solid, Hideo Kojima and his team went straight to work on a sequel for the PlayStation 2, the next-generation hardware that would power the next evolution of the Metal Gear saga, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
メタルギアソリッド1が、発売されて、全世界ですね、日本と北米と欧州とに発売されて、想像以上にというか思いもしなかったんですけど大ヒットしまして、
You already mentioned fat kids, so close enough.
続編を望む声が、どこからも聞こえてきてですね、当然作らないといけないということで、最初は全く1で完結して違うものを作ろうと思ってましたけど、これは逃げられないぞということで、2を企画して、作ろうと思いました。
In the years following the events of Shadow Moses, Solid Snake has once again gone underground, this time accompanied by Otacon. Together, they have formed Philanthropy, a UN-sanctioned anti-Metal Gear watchdog group. The two resurface in late 2007, acting on a tip that a military tanker passing through New York City is transporting Metal Gear Ray, the next evolution in Metal Gear technology being developed by the U.S. Marines. Unfortunately for philanthropy and the rest of the international community, Metal Gear Ray is hijacked by Ocelot, while Solid Snake disappears into the Hudson River along with the sinking ship.
最初に準備してたプロットっていうのはですね、イラン・イラクの核査察の話なんですけども、どうやらそこに核兵器がある、メタルギアがあるらしいということで、査察に行こうとするんですけどどうも見せてくれないので、そこで緊張状態があって、対メタルギア兵器というのを積んだ空母艦隊が、何十時間以内に査察をさせてくれないととんでもないことになるという状況で、その艦隊がリキッド軍に乗っ取られるという、そのような話だったと思います。ただ半年ぐらいしてですかね、実際にそういう状況が起こってしまいまして、これはちょっとこう作れないなということで、プロットを改定して、そのできたのが2なんですけども、2のタンカー編というのはそのちょっと名残になります。
It's after the hijacking of this tanker that Solid Snake slips out of sight. And the first chapter of Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, comes to a close. The story resumes in 2009, with Snake infiltrating an offshore plant rumored to house the stolen Metal Gear Ray. But Kojima had a big surprise planned for the many fans of the series. When Snake's diving mask comes off, the true lead player in Sons of Liberty is revealed. His code name, Raiden.
No.
1の時にですね、モニターチェックというのを当然しまして、社外の人が読んでですね、メタルギアを普段買わないような人が
gathering a group of women that don't normally buy games. Here we go.
やってもらうんですね。で、そのアンケートによってどうするかっていうのを決めながらゲームを作っていくんですけども、ある女子中学生がプレイしまして、アンケート用紙にですね、いろいろ書いてもらうんですけどね、もうこんな親父ばっかり出てくるゲーム嫌やと、しょうもないと、こんなん嫌やというのを書かれてたんです。で、一番最後にこのゲームが発売されたら買いますか、絶対買わないっていうのがありまして、チームにはもうね、だいぶ落ち込みました。どうしたらいいなと、しんちゃんとだいぶ落ち込んで、やっぱあれやな、美形を出さなあかんなっていうことで、ユーザーのためを思ってですね、僕らはライデンっていうキャラクターを切り出したわけですよ。
With the introduction of the new lead character of Metal Gear Solid 2, the player, alongside young Raiden, is ushered into a new world, starring a diverse cast of characters, some old, some new. Solid Snake, calling himself Iroquois Pliskin, and partner Otacon reappear and aid Raiden throughout his first field assignment. Making his first appearance is Solidus Snake, otherwise known as the President, George Sears, who joins Snake and Liquid as the third of the cloned Sons of Big Boss. What ensues is an elaborate narrative that weaves in and out of reality, intertwining Raiden's fate with the experiences of the player. The game concludes with Raiden fighting a life-or-death battle against Solidus Snake and a host of Metal Gear Rays. Sons of Liberty would go on to sell millions of copies worldwide, fulfilling fans' elevated expectations for a sequel.
What?
The game has since become infamous for its enigmatic ending, leaving players with more questions than answers about their favorite characters.
Talk about the backlash, you coward.
Since its release, gamers have sought the secrets behind the mysterious group, the Patriots, Vamp's apparent immortality, Olga's orphaned child, and the truth behind Ocelot's possessed arm. These questions, as well as the fate of Solid Snake, seemed destined to go left unanswered, as director Hideo Kojima was planning to retire from helming Metal Gear-related projects. Rallied by his team and Metal Gear fans from around the world, Kojima has decided to return once more to the director's chair to tell the next and most likely final chapter in the story of Solid Snake with Metal Gear Solid 4.
I guess it is.
メタルギアソリッド3部作といって、
Uh-oh.
1、2、3ときましたけども、2の後はどうなるんでしょうっていうのが非常に多く 皆さんの意見でありまして、で4はですね、2で残った、あらゆる謎、いろんな小さな謎から大きな謎ありますけども、それを全部解決するつもりで作っております。4で全てが終わるような感じですね。MGS サーガーがこれで終わるっていうような、まあことを念頭に今作ってます。
Yeah.
And when the Metal Gear Saga draws to an end, it will be on the PlayStation 3. Powered by next-generation hardware, Metal Gear Solid 4 will push the limits of video game sound and vision, and challenge gamers with its riveting brand of tactical espionage action. Metal Gear Solid 4 promises not only to be a momentous event in games, but the climax of the Metal Gear Saga as well.
でキャラクターの方も3はやっぱ1960年代だったんで、オタコンとかメリルとかで、まあ、出すことはできなかったんですけども、今回2の後なので、その辺のですね、今までのキャラクターが勢ぞろいと、出せるだけ出すつもりでいますので、この辺はぜひご期待ください。で、まあ今のところですけども、今のところシナリオは入ってますね。で、今の現状報告で言いますと、まあ愛国者たちとは何なのかとか、オルガの子供とかですね、バンプはなんで死なないのか、もしくはリキッドの腕をつけたらオセロットはなんでリキッドになるのやとか、そんなアホなっていうようなことが、まあ、あるとは思うんですけど、その辺は
I'll explain that too.
今のところですね、最終的にどうなるかちょっとまだ分かりませんけど、まあ、ということで、まあ、4で全て完結できるような体制で進みます。
From the heroic origin of Big Boss in Snake Eater to the surprise debut of Raiden in Sons of Liberty, the Metal Gear series stretches across 5 original game titles and just as many decades of fictional history. The saga comes to a close with the 6th and final chapter in the story of Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 4.
Damn, give me that PS4. I don't know, we'll look it up, youngsters. I have no idea if there is a volume 2. It's just credits. Yeah. Maybe volume 2 came out after MGS4 released. Oh, it's spin-offs. Oh, that's kind of interesting, actually. Let's see, hold on. Tell me about... Oh, there was a full video with both of them. I'm finding a lot of fucking clickbait videos about Master Collection Volume 2. Hold on. I should just watch this one. Thank you, whatever YouTuber person, IOG official, credit, whatever. It sounds sweet. There's gonna be a fight, right? Poops. I see poops. I see Ashley Wood poops. God, people don't get it, do they? It's not about the timeline. Oh my god. This is like, yeah, right before. Didn't even announce the year. Yeah, 20th anniversary. So 2007, right before MGS4 came out. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, here we go again. Chronological order. These people don't get it.
A certain
about the
document
series.
first brought Solid Snake to my attention. It described a truly remarkable soldier.
Oh my god.
Big Boss. Military men and mercenaries alike dubbed him the greatest soldier who ever lived.
He doesn't even know where
They
to go
all knew him.
in MGS3.
But few had met him in person. Many doubted his existence. Most legends have their roots in myth. But Big Boss was the real deal. A true living legend.
Oh my god. What?
An official military dossier verifies his existence. In the 1960s,
What the
he
fuck?
helped invent close quarters combat, CQC. Then, ordered to covertly mend the growing rift between two global superpowers following the Cuban Missile Crisis, he slipped into the Soviet Union on a solo sneaking mission.
He's a potato in MGS3. He doesn't know what's going on half the
The
time.
document claims that Big Boss prevented World War III. That he was a true patriot. This document detailed the entire affair.
Recap. That's kind of cringe.
At last, the military had revealed Big Boss's virtue to the world. The man I seek is his successor. The man I seek is Solid Snake.
See his Solid Snake. Nice.
To maximize on its most valuable asset, the US military began experimenting with cloning in the 1970s. Dubbed Les Enfants Terribles,
What?
this project created a man nearly identical to Big Boss in physique, prowess,
What?
and potential.
He tried. Was he really trying?
That man was Solid Snake. Born from the Pandora's box
What the
of
fuck
human
is this? This is
cloning.
nothing like the first part of the documentary. What the fuck? Eh? Jesus. Okay, let's see what to say about MGS4 because it wasn't out yet. But that what?
The sole survivor of his line, in the hunt for the real enemy. But the mission for this snake was far from over.
Wait, what? Is there PO? Oh,
I first stumbled across the Patriots while tracking Solid Snake, learning of their true role as puppeteers tugging at America's strings.
what is this guy's problem, dude?
Now they're pursuing a new plan, extending their influence across the globe by taking total control of war. War has changed. ID-tagged soldiers carry ID-tagged
He
weapons
just straight up
and use ID-tagged gear. Nanomachines inside their bodies enhance and regulate their abilities. Everything is managed and controlled.
Is it really? That
Having
humans?
killed his own kin, what remains for the sole
I don't think this is Jim
surviving
Pittock,
snake?
right? Oh, you're just meaning.
His father's blood, his curse.
I take what you say
Eats away at
seriously.
it from the inside.
Holy shit! Look at that Merrill model.
What fate
What the fuck
Await.
was that? Just forget.
to await
Gosh, oh my
His
god,
father's
these early models, dude. MGS4. Campbell looks
His
the same.
curse.
Or maybe it's some. Whoa. She's kind of cute, actually, instead of guerrilla style. Guerrilla warfare.
eats away at it from the inside. What fate awaits
Oh,
this
that was her
graying
making the whole
dog
models, even the 3D models? She was here a couple days
of
ago.
war.
Yeah. Oh, she was here when we played MGS3 a couple days ago. She made the entire 3D models. Oh, I actually really like Meryl. I don't know about Snake. But,
His main control is his curse. Eats away at it from the
I don't know.
inside.
Meryl was just better, I think.
What fate awaits this graying dog of war?
Who made the more recent model? Was it Toyota? So Toyota, man.
His final mission is about
Wait, no, it's not Toyota. It's Sasaki. Yeah, Sasaki. That's right.
to begin. And I will follow him until the bitter end.
Do it, you pussy. Yeah, I forgot it's Hideki Sasaki. That was a 3D modeling. So Toyota's just a meme that we meme all the time. Oh, they have all the timeline from all the games until MGS4. So Einstein dies. Is this like an unused version of just a VR variety or something? Let me see. Oh, there's a little bit of poops. A little bit of poops. 92, 93, 95. I mean 85. 82, 83, 85. Thought so. Yeah, nothing happens in 84. Of course. The Phantom Year. Applause music. Oh shit, I have 9/11 in the timeline. See, it's censored. 2000 XX. Solid Snake returns as Old Snake. They didn't announce that it was 2014 yet, I guess. Damn. Guy Perry, man. Yeah, don't do this again, please. Going tonight for all this other stuff on screen. Thanks. 2087. Damn, I kind of wish we got more of that stuff, yeah. Hold on. Why the fuck is it suggesting Minecraft videos after this shit? Thanks, YouTube. Thanks to Patrick Fox Gaming hosting this, I guess. Just in case he's there 10 years ago. Oh shit, really bad humans. How do you know all this shit? I mean, that's hilarious. Forgot all the footage in Taxi in Japan. Must have talked about it somewhere, huh? Nice. Lost Metal Gear. Maybe that's how they lost Chapter 3. Oh, okay. Damn. I don't know if I could. Bad Human certainly watches a bunch of and researches a lot of extra shit that's outside the games, you know? I do very little of that. Maybe I should do some more. Um So is there a good version of that MGS4 documentary? With the sub Oh, that's right. You sent me something on Discord, right? I don't see it. Where did you send it, Bad Humans? Wait. Oh, in chat. Or shit. I don't know if I can find it now. I thought it was in Discord because you said you sent it to me. But does the making of MGS4 include okay, let me see. Oh yeah, that's the one I was looking at. INXM. Yep. Yeah, it's really good. I remember that part with Kojima playtesting might be my favorite part. Cause holy shit, dude. It's incredible. The ideas that they had for MGS4 that they couldn't do due to the PS3 limitation. But fuck it, we'll play the whole thing. Then I'll do something for a couple hours, and we'll probably end it today. Over 100 hours. Let's see. This is the actual making of MGS4. Excuse me. Look at all these chapters. Spoiler warning. Why is it so quiet?
Although the Metal Gear series of games are fictional, elements
Oh, the
from
same
the
font.
story are rooted in reality. Whether taking inspiration from headlines around the globe or basing weapons and tactics on modern military applications, the Metal Gear series of games has always been true to its real-world inspirations. The real-world military plays a big part in the design of the Metal Gear games, so much so that Hideo Kojima's development team trained like soldiers.
子供の頃小説を書いてたんですけど、それこそ小学校なんですけど、冒険小説を書いてたんですけど、主人公は当然ハードボイルドなんで車を運転してカーチェイスをするんですけど、自分で運転したことがないので書けないわけです。臨場感がどうしても助手席に座って見ているものでは書けないんで、実際に自分が運転しないとやっぱり本物は書けないんですよね。そういう経験があって、コンバットっていうかそういう、軍事アクションをテーマなので、僕ら日本人なんで銃も撃ったことないんですけどもやっぱりそういう世界を体験して本物を見た上で、どの部分を、エンターテインメントに持っていくかっていうのは、やるとやらないとでは全然できてくるものが違うということで、そういう考えのもとで毎回組んでしてます。
Of
To
each
help with
game,
this
fuck
training,
you,
Kojima-san
Kojima.
recruited military man Mura Satomori to
Of
work
each
with the team.
game. Fuck you, past Kojima. You should look at yourself now.
やっぱり鋭いねっていうところがまず1点目と、2点目にする
Now
と
they start with weapon
それは
realism.
国の
Nice.
要は
Probably the
軍隊
strongest part of
にし
MGS4.
ろ PMC にしろ結局その戦闘技能ですとか戦術とか戦略でそんな変わらないので、そういう部分では
What
違和
an
感は
asshole. What an asshole.
ワンの頃は全く僕自身その銃とか触ったこともなくってで、銃の扱い方とか構え方とかそういうのは全く分からなかったんですけども、実際に毛利さんの訓練受けてで、実銃も撃ちましたし、なかなか言いにくい部分もあるんですけども、そういった訓練をしていく中で知っておかないと分からない部分っていうのがすごく多くあったのと、 実際に本なんかでいろいろ調べてミリタリーのことを勉強してはいたんですが、自分が自分の身でアクションを起こしてやったことっていうのと全く想像できないほど面白い体験だったし、
Those guys miss every shot.
作る上では必要不可欠なもの
That's why MGS4 is the best gun details in the
This
series. No
training
wonder.
helps the creators to see through the eyes of their characters, furthering the development of not only their fictional personalities, but the personalities of the developers as well.
主にやっぱり重機のそのキャラクターが取り扱うモーションだったりとかで、どのぐらいのレンジでどういった戦闘が行われるであればどんな形でそのイメージを組んでいこうかっていう部分とか、
Is that guy making sushi in the background?
知ってると知ってないとで全然違うし、例えば映画を見たとしてアクション映画を好きで見るんですけども、その実際にその映画の中のキャラクターが鉄砲を持って戦っていると、いや違うんだけど。
How did these people make fucking Phantom Pain after saying this? How the fuck can you make the guns in the Phantom Pain after doing and saying this? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
なっていうので、
Unbelievable.
どうしても見ちゃうとか、知らなかった方が良かったっていう部分もあるんですけど。
Some of the technologies and devices employed in the Metal Gear universe may not be so far-fetched. For many, if not all, are based on real-world applications.
あとは、もう1が出た後からなんですけども、世界中の、軍関係者とか警察関係者の人がやっぱりメタルギアをやってる人が多くてですね、真面目にやってるところを評価してくれてるんで、そこを外せないということで、さらにマニアックな訓練を
Look how much they fucking cared when they made
今の
MGS4.
メタルギアになっている。
It's unbelievable.
当然エンターテインメントなんで嘘をついてる部分もありますけども、ある部分は本当に訓練を受けて、現場でやってるような動きとか、重火器の使い方とかを、ゲームの中に入れてます。
Yeah. Soviet
Many of these combat
556.
technologies are in use today, and still others are in the development stage for use by future military forces.
At the start of the war, we went in with 10 unmanned ground systems. There was only a few of the UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. Now, we've gone from 10 on the ground to more than 5,000 on the ground. You don't go out on an operation without one of these unmanned ground systems with you. And of course, we've introduced the first armed ones. Same thing within the air. UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. We go from just a handful in the air to more than 1,000 in the air. Every single operation has them, and they don't operate without them. You don't go on convoy without having one of these systems above you.
メタルギアレックスに関して言うと、1の時にも出てきたんですけれども、その後ドキュメントって言ってメタルギア2のドキュメントのソフトがあって、その中にも収録されてて、それがまず1体と、その後にツインスネークス、その後に1体、で今回で、3体目を作ることになってるんですけれども、大体歴代のデータを受け継いで、そこから、作り直す。当然技術が上がると骨とかの構造とかも変えないといけないので、そういった感じで作っていきます。シンカーさんの方でもうすでに立体化されているレックスがあるんで、そこら辺を参考にしたり、設定を詰めていく感じで現在の形になってますね。レイに関しても大体同じ感じで。
The ever-present threat of nuclear warfare plays a prominent role in the Metal Gear series, and Kojima-san has never shied away from creating game stories with powerful socio-political messages.
今回その4のシナリオを書いた時にそのPMC っていうのは、メタルギアソリッド4のオリジナルの設定で使って聞いてきたスタッフがいて、自分も人のことは言えないですけど、特に日本ではそうなのかもしれないですけれども、PMC とかっていうものが存在して始まっていること自体がまだあんまり知られてないです。
You've always had private actors in war, but then something happens at the end of the Cold War, and the national militaries in the world get a lot smaller. About 6 million soldiers are downsized. The other thing that's happening on the demand side is that you have one superpower left standing, but it's not as interested in a lot of these areas where it may have sent troops in the past. And so companies strive into that vacuum to fill it. I don't think we will see companies take over everything, but I do think we're going to see a return to the medieval period, where if you look back at the 1200s to 1400s, you didn't just have governments going at each other. You had dukes, kings, you had bishops, you had the Vatican with its own forces. Then you had all of these free companies of knights going around where they would work for one duke during this war, and then when that war ended, they'd go work for this king in this other war. We may be seeing a return to that, where you have strong governments, sort of the equivalent of kings. You have weak governments. You have mid-tier ones like the old dukedoms. And then the parallel to those old free companies are these new private military companies, where they're willing to work for all sorts of other actors.
その世代によって変わるって話だと思うんですよね。だから例えば昔は傭兵って呼ばれてみたり、まあ今は PMC って形で呼ばれてるでしょうし、プライベートセキュリティカンパニーって言われるかもしれませんし、いろんな呼び方はその時代によって変わっていくと思うんですよね。
実際に、今の現在の社会で、戦争あるいは紛争っていうのはまあ世界中でずっと続いてるんですけども、調べてみるとその中で民間の企業がすごく、サポートしてるというのが多いんですよね。物資輸送したりとか訓練も含めて重火器作ってたりも含めてですけども、それはある種言い換えるとサポートというか、それで戦争で金儲けをしていると、それで世界中の経済が潤っているっていう現状があります。あるいはその無人兵器を作って投入しているっていうのも実際にあるんで、このまま世界が進んでいくとどうなるかっていうのを、まあ、ある程度そういう現状を皆さんにも知ってもらいたいっていうのがあって、4のテーマではそれを選びました。1でいうと、まあ、核兵器の脅威みたいなのをやってましたけど、現在はまあ、PMC とか無人兵器とか、あるいは少年兵の問題とかがあってですね、そういうことが世界で起こりつつある、起こってますよっていうのを、まあ、ゲームをやりながら知ってもらえれば、いいかなと思います。
Oh no, they chose Johnny to put on the cover. No.
In order to convey realism in the game world, the team at Kojima Productions have not only consulted with military advisors, they've also traveled extensively around the world to truly understand and represent the locations presented in the Metal Gear universe.
今回は、007のようにですね、全世界を巡るという、
I guess me too.
メタルギアは毎回こうクローズドな閉鎖空間を舞台にするんですけど、今回そうじゃなくて、いろんな世界中を回っていく、そういう規模の話にしました。
To determine locations for the game, it may appear that topography, political climate, and architecture are all part of the criteria, but that's not necessarily the case.
毎回、実は、自分が行きたい
Of
ところを
course, you choose locations you want to visit.
ということで、
So you have an excuse to visit it.
今回、中東モロッコ取材で、
No,
南米
how fucking shameless.
で、東は、プラハですね。メタルギアソリ
Town
ッド
of Eastern
2
Europe.
でニューヨークだったのもニューヨークをこうぐるっと回れるんで、それでニューヨークにしたんです。
Kojima-san and his team have logged tens of thousands of air miles, all in the name of realism.
MGS のメインのスタッフたちと一緒にその場を共有したっていうことですね。ただ映像を見てそれに音をつけるんではなくて、それは誰もいない戦場っていうことではなくて、今回の舞台っていうのは数年前にはですね、我々が目の当たりにしたように人々がいて生活が営まれていて、まあ、匂いがあって生き生きと生きてる人たちがいて、そういう街の数年後なんですよね。
Yeah, this is the guy in the last episode of the podcast.
分かってどういう素晴らしい人たちがいたのかっていうのを ことを理解して音をつけていくということは大きな意味があったと思ってます。
With all this traveling, each member of the team has their own take and affinity for certain places.
プラハも良かったけどやっぱりモロッコは、結構衝撃的でしたね。モロッコのフェズっていうところに行ったんですけど、旧市街メディナっていうんですか、もう本当迷路みたいな、なんつうかすごく狭い路地が入り組んでて、そこはものすごく感動しましたね。
Oftentimes, it's Kojima himself that's behind the camera.
But Morocco's not the Middle East.
For the environment artists.
ロケーションに関してはその世界でいろんな紛争が起こっている中での、
Do they think that Morocco's the Middle East?
中東とか、南米とか東欧とかを選択しました。
そうしてオリジナルのマイクで、レコーディングをしてみたんですけども、いろいろと難しいことがあってですね、一番やはり難しかったのは、屋久島の時は誰もいない密林っていうのと、スネークが潜入する密林というシチュエーションすごく似ていた。でも今回は、中東のような戦場っていうものと人が暮らしている街というところにすごくギャップがあったんですね。だからレコーディングが前のようにはうまくいかなかったです。だから大体ですねライアンとか今泉さんに心配されながら、夜中とか朝方とかにも出ていってですね、できるだけ人気のない、時間に音を取るということをしておりました。
取材で言いますと、僕は南米のペルーというところに行ったんですけれども、前回の MGS3 のジャングルとはちょっと違う、割とハゲ山といいますか、木があんまりたくさんない、森を再現したいっていうのがありまして、ペルーというところに行きました。でものすごく標高の高いところだったんで、取材中ずっと高山病で苦しめられてて、多分取材どころじゃなかったなというのはとても思い出に残ってます。どちらかというと今回はその中東とか東欧とか南米とか大きいセクションに分かれてるんで、むしろ、それぞれのエリアで、トーンを変えていった方がいいのかなっていうところがあって、例えば中東とかですともう光沢をなくしてすごいマットな世界を再現する。逆に、東欧とかに行くと、あそこは雨に濡れてるようなところなんで、街全体がキラキラと光ってるような、より際立たせたりして、むしろ、各ステージのトーンをばらけさせていったっていうところはありますね。
It's also during these expeditions that the game designers find new inspiration and can even change previously held notions.
感動したものですか。開けた空間がドーンってあるんですよね。でそこに唐突にインカ文明が栄えたところでしたんで、唐突に石畳が現れたりっていう、その大自然と人工物のそのミックスといいますか、それがちゃんと共存してて、ですごい美しい景色を成しててっていうのがやっぱ印象に残ってますね。
僕が好きなのは、中東の、倒れたビルがあるんですけど、そのあと、アーケードにつながる細い道が一番モロッコっぽくできたかなとモロッコ行った時にやっぱり匂いとかその空気感がすごい強烈だったんで、それが表現できてるのが
Imagine all those poor people there just trying to fucking survive and these fucking Japanese game developers come take pictures.
匂いが伝わるようにってずっと意識しながらライティングして
Morocco's a pretty poor place.
Like the military training the team at Kojima Productions partakes in, the reference material enables everyone on the team to truly understand the visual experience the game is trying to replicate. These photos and videos allow the artists to accurately reproduce the textures seen in the real world.
僕がペルー行ったっていうのもあるんですけれども、ナオミをトラッキングする森というのがあります。でそこは結構時間をかけて作って、川が流れて、すごい清らかなすごい自然の空気を感じられるところで、なんか本当は戦闘とかせずにそこにずっとぼーっと座ってたいなっていうような綺麗な森に仕上がっていると思います。
In turn, these realistic graphics help to immerse the gamer into a world they might otherwise never have visited. Whether it's the mortar and brick holding together a crumbling building or the native flora swaying effortlessly in a cool breeze, each begins from a piece of reference material collected on site from around the world.
Was this like a Blu-ray that came with MGS4 or something? Some versions of MGS4? Because it looks like a Blu-ray
Metal
menu.
Gear's rich characters are some of the most memorable and finely crafted in the entire medium. And as each successive title in the franchise is launched, Kojima Productions has risen to the challenge of outdoing their previous work.
Wow, this guy sucks.
サーガの、最終作というか完結編なので、今まで出てきたキャラクターをですね、みんな幸せにしたいという思いがありまして、なるべく出しましたね。で、彼らがどこに向かっていくのかっていうのをやっていただけると分かると思います。
The process of designing a character begins as a brainstorming session between Kojima and Shinkawa. Sasaki then scrutinizes the drawing and with the modelers fleshes it out further before the team proceeds with motion capture and keyframe animation that will embody all of the character's movements. It's at this point that an actor is brought in to give the character a voice, and once all these elements are assembled together, the team has a living and breathing character.
Is this where they spoiled Big Boss in one of the monitors?
For the game.
No, that must have been
最
before.
初に、シンカーさんのイラストを見たときは誰もが嘘だろうと思ってたんですけども、いざ、実際にモデリングしてみて、
It only came with limited edition.
が出力されてみると、逆にそれが当たり前のように見えてきて、若い頃のスネークが逆にその、ちょっとおかしいんじゃないのかっていう話が出てきたりとかして、今では最初は違和感があったオールドスネークも完全に馴染んでしまっているという状態です。
Even though they've collaborated for years on Metal Gear, Kojima never ceases to surprise Shinkawa, especially after he learned that Snake would return as an old man.
毎回何を考えているのかわからない人で毎回驚かせ
Poor man, the things that he must have heard.
キャラクターデザイナーの、方と、イメージのすり合わせを、一番最初に行うんですけども、そこから、ポリゴンモデリングに、入っていって、ハイレゾのモデルを、作成していきます。でただ、やっぱり作成していく過程でイメージが、意図していたものからずれていってしまったりとかすることも、あるので、もうひたすらリテイクを繰り返して、最終的なイメージをすり合わせていくっていうことを繰り返していきます。
メタルギアシリーズだけじゃないんですけど、僕が作ってるゲーム全てそうなんですけども、やっぱり、そのゲームを、やってもらって、ただ単に、面白いとか、時間潰しができるとかそういうもんじゃなくて、そのゲームをやったことでその人の人生に何かしらの付加価値というかですね、何か持って帰れるようなそういう、ものにしたいっていうのがあって、メタルギア
Is this the press thing, or are they all just testers? Damn. Look at all these people playing MGS4.
でもそういったメタルギアソリッドを遊んだ結果、
This must have been the fucking press event that they talk about in the podcast. Maybe? Maybe not.
何か持って帰れるようなそういう、ものにしたいっていうのがあって、メタルギアソリッド
This looks like it would be in Japan.
でもそういったメタルギアソリッドを遊んだ結果、自分のちょっと人生観が変わったり、ちょっと知識が増えたり、友達やお父さんとか家族に優しくなれたりっていうか、そういった
Can you imagine that you're fucking playing Metal Gear and Kojima's sitting behind you? Watching. Oh, fuck.
家族に優し
He's probably looking at the girl, yeah.
ちょっと知識が増えたり、友達やお父さんと
They
か
don't give a
家族
fuck.
に優しくなれたりっていうか、そういったものを もらえるような、あるいは与えられるようなゲーム作りっていうのでメタルギアソリッドも設計をしてますし、そういった魂でキャラクターが動いているとか。
Just wait until we get to the part where Kojima playtests the game. You'll see. He didn't even it's insane that people who put this much care in something can produce the bullshit that we got after. It's insane. I'm genuinely confused and enraged by it.
物語もそういったことで作ってます。
When it comes to populating the world of Metal Gear Solid 4, Kojima Productions has employed a group of world-class actors that have the depth and range to bring the game's colorful characters to life.
Shut the fuck up, Otacon.
Otsuka returns to voice Snake as an aging
That's
character,
all I can think about.
which presented its own set of challenges.
人の気持ちのひだみたいなものとかがすごくこう分かるようになってきてっていうところはやっぱり
Oh my god.
年を取っていった方が
What a Giga Chad.
なんかそういうセンサー
But I just noticed that they're using the same red curtains and shit that we got for Kiefer later. Damn, I didn't know it was the same looking environment.
すごくこう分かるようになってきてっていうところはやっぱり年を取っていった方がなんかそういうセンサーが敏感になっていくみたいなそういう感じは自分の10年前よりも今の10年経った今の方が周りに対するその配慮みたいなものは多少若い時よりもできるようになってきたのかなと。
Like his Japanese counterpart, actor and screenwriter David Hayter returns to voice Solid Snake.
There's been a lot of stuff in this game that
Shut the fuck up, Hater.
They always have their act together.
Let's skip the Hater part.
And once your series,
weapons of mass.
Productions has ensured the continuity between each of the games in the Metal Gear series. Nanotech scientist Naomi Hunter makes a reappearance, and once again she is played by Jennifer Hale.
It's to work with people of this caliber. I mean, this company is amazing. Just
At
they
least she's awake
always
this
have their
time.
act together. They always have great stories, great scripts, great people. The producers just spot on. And as an actor, that's a dream. You just show up and do whatever they say.
To help define and shape the beauties in the Beauty and Beast creations, Kojima Productions organized an elaborate photo shoot in Los Angeles, California. Hundreds of photos were taken of each model to help create the digital characters for the game back home in Tokyo.
今回その2段階というかビーストからまずビューティーになるっていうそのコンセプトを聞いた時はとにかくそんなゲームがあるんだと。私自身ビーストのままで終わりたくなかったのでビューティーになれて本当に嬉しいんですけど本当にその発想はびっくりしました。
楽しくもあり難しくもありましたね。自分自身はやっぱり戦争とか体験してないじゃないですか。じゃあそれを体験してない自分がどこまでそういうの内面を彼女の内面を表現できるのかなっていうことはすごく考えましたね。
BB 部隊は4人いまして皆さん、鳥です、カラス、ウルフ、あとオクトパスで私がカマキリなんですけどカマキリの動きってまず想像がつかなくってですねこれもインターネットでカマキリがどういう動きをするんだろうかって調べましたら大体載っているのがメスはオスを食べるとそういうことしか載ってなくてですねその動きも鎌でこう首を切っちゃったりとかむしゃむしゃ食べるとこしかなかったのでその動きをどういうふうにゲームの中に取り入れようかっていうのがすごく悩んだんですけども、監督と相談させていただいて皆さんを操っている最後の BB 部隊ということなので皆様のそれぞれのやってきた動きを一つ一つ入れてみたらいいんじゃないかということなので、オクトパスとあとレーブルとウルフの動きもちょっと入れてみたりとかしてミックスしてやってみました。
まずメタルギアシリーズに女性が4人しかもその今回のボスは女性だけっていうのを聞いて私もメタルギアが好きなんでそれはちょっと今までに聞いたことない試みだなっていうのはそれびっくりしたんですけど
ゲーム的にはオクトパスが非常に面白いと思いますね。ギャグ満載なんでこれは言ってしまうとあれだからゲームを解いてから見てほしいんですけど
基本的にはオクトパスが面白いです。ビーストはどれも非常にこうデザイン的に洗練されてるんですけど、ビーストを倒すとビューティーが出てきます。でビューティーはどの人たちも非常に美女でですね、バグチェックの違いがありますね。
With the Beauty and the Beast, we have.
What the fuck did he
With the Beauty and
say?
the Beast, we have the beautiful voice.
He said.
I
found them all so attractive. It was great fun checking the bugs on those scenes. Fucking Kojima, man. At least he did check the bugs that time.
With the Beauty and the Beast, we have the beautiful voices of the female characters, and then on top of that, we have the voice of Fred Tatasciore, who's the voice of the Beast.
Maybe he was honest back then about it.
It's very
Instead
deep
of
and
you
very
will be
chilling.
ashamed, yeah.
Come on, Snake! Laugh with me! Laugh! Laugh! Laugh with me, Snake!
The Beast is a demonic entity that is the worst end of 4 victims of war. And the foes that you see in this game are actually victims themselves. And you have one of rage, one of sorrow, one of madness, and one of just absolute psychosis. And I get to play the character, the demon, at their worst right before they're unraveling.
Phil Lamar plays Vamp, the former Dead Cell member with the preternatural-like abilities of a vampire.
I remember auditioning for it, and Chris Zimmerman, the director, kept saying creepier. And basically, at the very beginning, I basically just sort of stopped breathing in order to do the voice. Like, it moved so far back
in my throat that it became not alive.
The first game, it was rare when a strike actually hurt them. So most of my stuff was very subtle. This time, there is actual pain.
Shit, I just shot Marvin in the face.
There's blows that should kill him, but don't. And that's always fun to play. The, like, you know, I've just been gutted with my own sword, and now I'm grinning and moving down my own sword towards you, you know. And a lot of imagination there, like, okay, where does that hurt, you know? And
ですからまあ本当にこうパワフルでもあり粘っこい粘着質な粘着質もあるんですけど、でもものすごいこう強い男たちの戦いでもあるんで、まあ本当にこれ以上の激しい戦いは世の中他にはもうないんじゃないかというような戦いで、本当に今はもう全く他のことを考えられて時間も忘れてガーッと見てしまいました。
あそこはですね、なんかこう監督はすごくフレキシブルで、
they changed them in Japanese between 2 and 4.
なんか冗談交えながらすごくこっち気が楽だったんですけど。
As intense as the motion capture in a Metal Gear game is, for Metal Gear Solid 4, the actors were also required to memorize and perform copious amounts of dialogue.
とにかくセリフを入れるために喫茶店に行って、そのセットでコーヒーとタバコとで台本でプツプツプツプツプツプツプツプツプツプツってずーっと言ってたんですね。
Kenyu Horiuchi returns as Raiden.
彼の痛みが自分の痛みだったりする。
What the fuck? Raiden's like
そういう
70
切
years
なさ
old.
を僕が感じてしまった戦いだったり気がとてもするんですよね。
There's an energy that happens between two actors when they're working together, and there was a great give and take with Phil and I. And there were times when I was in the moment in my character, and there were other times when I got an opportunity to sit back and watch Phil work. And in doing that, that is like playing with a great tennis player. It makes you want to rise, you know, to the occasion and take the ball and slam it down the throat.
フォード・ライデンは少したくましくなって切なさもあったり、そういった意味では、不死身でありながらサイボーグ的でありながら、もしかしたらとても、人間的なのかなっていう 気もしながら。
How do you look at this guy and be like, yeah, Quentin Flynn should do
Metal Gear
this?
cast is Drebin, memorably voiced by newcomer to the franchise, Kari Payton.
It's just
he's
bigger
cool, actually.
and better and bolder. They continue just to, turn the crank to ratchet it up.
武器戦場を職業としている。で、戦争に加担している側なわけですよね。ただ彼自身は何かそれを職務の一環として行っているだけで、特にその戦場で人が死んでいくとかそういうことについてあまり無関心なように思える。だから、なるべく仕事だからやってるんだよという感じで、ある程度セリフとかなんかにも無責任さっていうんですかね、だから楽しんでる。野菜売ってるのと同じだよっていうそういう感覚であまり重たく捉えないように軽さっていうんですかね、そういうものをちょっと加えるようにしました。はい。
And never far from Drebin is another new character in Metal Gear Solid 4, a Gibbon, named Little Gray.
親と子供であったり、その信頼関係を置ける間なんだけれども、どこかいつか旅立っていってしまうものの象徴というか、それが抽象されているんじゃないかなっていうのはちょっと感じました。
常に大体一緒にいますよね。もしかすると飲み物が欲しいだけでくっついて回ってるんじゃないかと思うぐらいなんですけど、特に愛情があるような感じも見えないけど、ただドレビンっていうキャラクターにそういう猿がくっついて回ってるっていうのは、なんかそのドレビンの人柄に一つなんか面白いキャラクター性を持たせるためのなんか小道具のようなっていうのかな、なんかそういうふうに僕はちょっと捉えてはいたんですけど。
猿の真似ってできますかって言われたんですよ。猿の真似って別に友達同士でふざけてなんかキキとかそういうのはやったことありますけど、ちょっとやってみてくださいよってそのオーディションが終わった後にやったんですよ。そしたら見つけたとか言われて。
It's one of the great things I think about this series of games is they treat the aging process very realistically. Otacon, he's definitely gotten older. There's been a lot of tragedy in his life, so that starts to wear on a character after a while.
男が随分かっこよくなっちゃいましたよね。最初登場した頃はね、かなりもうオタクっていう感じでしたけども、やっぱりいろんなドラマを乗り越えながら少しずつ大きくなっていった、大人になっていったっていう、その部分を出せればなと思って今回の方は演じました。
The character designs just freak me out, and they really help as an actor to look at what you look like.
ですから僕はかなりバンプの気分とかバンプのそういう全然なかなか死ななくて、でもいつかものすごいダイナミックな死を味わいたいっていう気持ちは僕の映画のテーマにも近いんで、かなり分かるところがあって、共感というか共感して人僕になっちゃったら大変ですけど、テーマとか映画というその中としては非常に共感がある役だったんだというか、むしろすごく理解できる役だったという感じですね。
すごく作品の中で重要な役割でとても素敵なキャラクターだったので、最初は戸惑ったんですけども、なんて素敵な役をやらせていただいてっていうところで、なんか幸せだなって思います。
In the role of Liquid Ocelot is veteran Banjo Genga, who previously played Liquid Snake and Major Zero in the series.
感情の機敏のレンジっていうのは非常に幅がたくさん取れますので、悪役の方が演じる上では楽しいような気がします。
This man's body has served me well. It enabled me to pass every security barrier between me and GW. After all, the Patriot's security system is nothing more than a machine.
Paul Eiding voices Solid Snake's commanding officer, Colonel Roy Campbell, who comes out of retirement to support Snake in his last mission.
For me, it was a film. I mean, there was so much video involved, and there was so much story involved.
The one thing that kept her alive for me was Snake was always in the background, and that deep connection, that maybe that one true love, that no matter where you go in your life, there's still that one connection that you have with someone that you'll never forget. And that was kind of what kept me alive as Meryl in this game.
普段のトレーニングやっぱキレよく動くがテーマなんで、よく小島監督からも「いや岡本さん今のはちょっと元気すぎましたね。もうちょっとやっぱジジイとしてやってください」みたいな感じのアドバイスを受けたりとかして。
チャンチャンチャンってあるじゃないですか。やっぱどうしてもこう刀2本とも持ってこうやってバサッってこう大きい動きをやってきたもんで、まず歯と歯が合ってるように見えるのかとか。
Every time he puts out a new game, everyone else has to step up because the bar just goes higher and higher.
The final intensely collaborative product is a group of game characters that are each not only unique, but have become iconic creations unto themselves. This has been Kojima Productions' winning formula since characters like Snake and Big Boss first appeared in video games more than 2 decades ago. From the beginning, the Metal Gear games have always delivered state-of-the-art audio as part of the gameplay experience. For the audio team at Kojima Productions, the expectations were set very high for Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. The game was expected to not only match previous efforts, but far exceed them. No one has been putting more pressure on the team than the team itself. There are many different aspects and layers to the audio featured in a video game. It's not just a matter of adding in music, voiceover, and sound effects. Each of these aspects has to be individually created and recorded first, and then seamlessly blended into a surround sound experience that plays out in real time.
It really is a very visceral experience when you have the sound on it. Mr. Kojima worked very closely with Mr. Tojima in a lot of kind of ideas he had for a next generation game. And so you're going to see this with MGS4 that not only is going to be in 5.1 Dolby surround sound, but that we're doing a lot of different things that people haven't attempted before.
そのプレイステーション3という新しいパワーのあるハード、それに小島プロダクションというのを掛け算すると大変なことになるんですね。でも新しいプラットフォームで最初のゲームなのに、ちょっと自分ではこれ以上のことが考えられないぐらいにですね、すごく複雑な仕様になってます。でブルーレイのストリームというのが走っていて、それからハードディスクの中に何本ものマルチストリームが走っていて、それに加えて、オンメモリのサウンドがなる。でそれらがインタラクティブに、コントロールされていくというのはとても難しくて、でもすごくエキサイティングなサウンドができているんじゃないかなと思います。
実際にゲームをやって必要な音を自分で考えて、作って鳴らしてもらうと。
Rounding out the soundscape is the musical score, used to create ambience, evoke an emotional response, or resonate a particular moment in the game.
Being a film composer, mostly I'm used to watching the picture and getting my inspiration from there. But without the images at this stage, I had to depend a lot on what Hideo Kojima told me about what he wanted from me. So I think we have a strong theme. He told me that Snake is on his last legs. He's getting a little old now, so I wanted a kind of deliberate, firm theme. Acoustic guitar was his idea.
There's something a little innocent, but also macho.
Did it shit itself? Yep. Frames. Literally what I'm doing about it is I'm moving.
小島秀夫はその映画の世界にも、それから音響の世界にもすごく関心が高いのでですね、これまでもハリウッドとかいろんな方のお力借りてきたんですけども、その中でもスカイウォーカーランチは小島秀夫にとっても僕にとっても夢の一つという 場所であって、それがついに実現したっていう形です。
Simming.
Performing voiceover for Metal Gear Solid 4 is not merely reciting lines on a page. The stories in the Metal Gear series are deeper and more complicated than many movies or novels.
I wasn't watching this. I wasn't
As
reading
such,
the chat. Sorry,
every
guys.
actor
I
must
was looking at
perform
OBS.
as if their character were a real, nuanced person, in an effort to maintain realism and to ensure an emotional investment from the player.
Use it to shoot the gecko.
I try to keep variety in mind. You don't want all your villains sounding the same. So you try to hone out the individual traits that each of these
backseating of all
villains
things.
would have. You know, Ocelot is so incredibly flamboyant.
役をやらせていただくというのは随分こう儲け物といいますか贅沢といいますか、他の人よりずっと楽しいんじゃないかと思いながらやらせていただくんですけれども。
Whereas Vamp is so stealthily villainous.
Oh,
you try
Chris
to choose the
Zimmerman.
actors,
If only you didn't
that
talk
match
shit
the
about
traits of the character and the
Twin
drawing and the
Snakes.
description.
I take you seriously.
As you'll recall, following the Shadow Moses incident 9 years ago, Naomi was detained by the authorities, but someone arranged for her escape.
You can tell this is not the final take. They never use the final take in the making of.
On developing the voice that they were looking for to match this newer, war-torn, post-apocalyptic.
It would be nicer if you saw the actual line that made it into the game being recorded.
Hunter, but you are also the hunted.
小島監督とその
Maybe that one?
好きなようにまずさせてくれるんですよ。でそれから、
Is that where she says it?
した時に
Bad Humans, is that where she says it? Yeah, that must be it, huh? Chris Zimmerman genuinely thinks they did a better job in Twin Snakes. So now I can't take anything she says seriously. I was thinking of actually dicking around in MGS4 a little bit after this, but yeah, maybe we can do that. Hold on, maybe that right in line is the one they used.
Be the hunt. Born post-apocalyptic cyber ninja Raiden.
You may be the hunter,
No,
but
that's
you
not.
are also the hunted.
It's
小島監督とその好き
Why
なよう
don't they ever show the actual line that made it into the game being recorded? That would be cool as shit. It's always some other take that doesn't make it into the game. Nice, we got two different links for it, but okay. Alright, cool. Hold on. We'll do this one too. How long is it?
にまず
Oh, okay.
させてくれるんですよ。でそれから、軌道修正ちょっとずれたりした時に直してくれる。
4615, okay.
そのアドバイスがすごく的確だったので本当にスムーズにできました。
ゲームの監督が全て、録音に立ち会ってこういうビジョンなんだっていうようなことってなかなかその現場に来て言ってくれる人も少なくて、でその中で小島監督というのは僕が迷子にならないようにちゃんと来てくださって、それで、ビジョンはこうです、だからこんな風になりますっていうことを明確に僕に伝えてくれるんで非常に仕事がしやすいですね。
When the MGS4 project started, we started thinking about how we're going to approach voiceover work. We had a pretty good outline of how we're going to approach it, and we had a substantial size script, but we didn't really think it was going to take more than a few months. And so here I sit now, just wrapping up the 9th session after 10 months of working on and off with Chris and the team. We haven't sacrificed anything to make a high-quality experience.
Before, it was all about the graphics and the gameplay. It's now slowly becoming about getting in the right actors and making sure it sounds good.
Oh my god. Where'd that guy go? Keep him.
たくさんの銃声が鳴るんですけれども。
A big part of the sound design process for the Metal Gear games begins here in the Foley studio, with a seemingly endless variety of items that range from the bizarre and obscure to products you'll find in almost any household. The Foley artist uses these instruments to represent what is seen on screen. Sometimes the most obvious choices work, as seen here, with different footwear representing the diverse footsteps for each character. while other products become sound effects for items that are not so apparent.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
What happens if it's the first time the player hears it?
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Excellent. Quality of the script and the length of the scripts are starting to feel a lot more like feature films. You know, years ago,
maybe they shouldn't start with MGS4.
Choppy
Yeah?
lines
If
that
it's the
involve
first
the
time
gameplay. But
they've
once
heard
these
it.
stories started evolving and these wonderful scripts like Metal Gear, you can really get some nice pieces of acting out of the actors.
I think Chris tends to ride these guys a little hard. She wants to make sure that she's getting everything out of these guys. Then again, she's known these guys for years and years.
You can have your panic attack here, 172, in.
Damn it! They got the Mark III! It's all over, Snake!
Good. Not only volume, but you're heartbroken here.
The characters, especially the soldiers, have different emotional states. And so we had to go through this process, Chris and I, of recording hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lines of dialogue that will come up depending on the emotional state of the soldier. And we're recording the same lines, but with these different emotional undertones. So that whole process, and it's very complex because obviously we have to work very closely with the programmers to make sure that that comes out at proper states. So that process has been very tiring, and but I think ultimately rewarding because you're not going to have a static performance every time you play the game.
No, I feel very fortunate.
Poor guy's keyboard is missing a bunch of keys. Did you see that?
It seems to be.
What the fuck? Where did his keys go? Is it so he doesn't press them accidentally? You don't get a print screen key, numlock, or a 7, or what? He doesn't get F1, and that's why they misspell things all the time, dude. Why is it missing keys? Okay.
No, I feel very fortunate to be doing Metal Gear Solid 4 because it seems to be
The origin of quarantine platform
that we've been doing with the previous games.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he didn't want to press it
Strings
accidentally.
can give it a tragic kind of nature, but you may not want that so much.
今回実はまたそこでも初挑戦なことをしていまして今回メタルギアシリーズでは初めてアフレコという形を取りました今までだいたい先に音声を取ってから、モーションキャプチャーしたり映像を作っていったんですけども、それだとやっぱ距離感が合わなかったりするんですよね怒鳴ってほしいのに怒鳴らないとか、すごく近くにいるのに怒鳴ってるとかそういうのがたくさんあったこともあって今回は初めてアフレコに挑戦しました
The Japanese animation has already been set forth and it's already locked in. And we work with motion capture actors that were recorded in Japan. So we have the scenes physically acted out by the motion capture actors. And then we go in and add the US voices to that. So we have to make sure that it matches the raising of a hand, the cock of a head.
Doing it to the Japanese motion control actors and was very, very funny. And at the same time, so effective for performance because, you know, they do little things with their bodies and every time he moves or he reaches up for something, I can put that into the voice. It's much better for performance. It's very funny to watch the behind the scenes as it's coming together, especially the monkey who is played by a guy, a regular sized guy, and he's walking around and doing his monkey thing.
Is it not feasible to
Once
just
the sound
do the
effects,
whole
the
fucking
voice
game
acting,
first
and
and
the
then do the
layers of
voice?
music are completed
Whatever.
and
I guess they
incorporated
gotta work
into the
together
game. They
for
are
efficiency.
tuned to perfection, so that the overall
Why not give them the
experience
actual
of Metal Gear
scene of the
Solid
voicing?
4
I don't get
is
it.
amplified and unforgettable.
At least I got the motion action for it, but why not the actual scene? It has to be like a budgeting or efficiency thing, I guess. Like, oh, we can't wait around. I don't know. It's not done yet. Yeah, okay, I mean, then do it first and then voice it. How hard is that? I mean, half the time they don't even know what their
The
voice
capital
is, so I
city
guess
of
the
Hyogo
motion
Prefecture, Kobe,
acting is
is a
an
major
improvement.
port located in the southern region of Japan. It's in this city where Hideo Kojima began his illustrious career in video
well,
games.
be even better if you could have the whole scene. That's all I'm saying.
ですね。神戸で、開発5部というそれこそ10人ぐらいの部署を任されて、人を集めて作ったのが、ですかね、93年ぐら
Yeah,
いですか
that's
ね。
dumb. I think
Kobe
they should
seemed
do
like an idyllic
literally
place for
everything
the
else
young team
first
to
and then
create
voice
games,
act it.
but in the
So
early
they know
hours
what they're
of
looking,
Tuesday,
what they're voice
January
acting.
17th, 1995, as many
I
commuters
think that's
were
how
about
just
to
one
begin
was,
their
wasn't
day,
it?
the great Hanshin earthquake
Didn't they have the
devastated
scenes for
Kobe.
one? And look how that turned
神戸
out.
に地震があってで大阪に移転するんですけども大阪であれば東京でもいいかなというので
The team decided to move across the country to Ebisu in Tokyo to finish work on Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. And then later, the newly formed Kojima Productions had an office across town in Roppongi Hills, where the team celebrated the completion of Metal Gear Solid 3: Snake Eater.
That just sounds so counterintuitive, but I guess they all need to work on
で東京の
it
エ
as
ビ
soon
ス
as
に会社を作
possible.
ったのが96
So
年
even before the fucking scene is over, you have to
そこから
voice it.
東京の人を集めて
They censored the
まあ
beer.
プロダクションの原型ができたということになります
However, it's here in Tokyo Midtown in Roppongi, where Kojima Productions have now set up shop and are working on Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots.
Roppongi's famous for being the international district. It used to be a place where like the American military used to hang out. There's lots of bars, lots of clubs, and it's still that way now, but it's become more of a business district. We've been here for 4 years now, just making games.
The company's various moves over the years pale in comparison to the frequent flyer miles that Kojima-san and his crew rack up in order to salute their many fans across the world. Every year, the video game world holds several key events to bring developers and gamers together, and Kojima Productions
Obviously,
sets
the
up
lip
shop
sync
at
should come
almost all of
after.
them. The annual Electronic Entertainment Exposition, or E3, began in 1995 in Los Angeles, California. The conference stopped in
it's just a
Atlanta for a
cluster
couple
fuck.
of years before returning to Southern California for the past decade. But it was here at E3 in Atlanta 1997 that Metal Gear Solid for the original PlayStation first made its global debut. The gaming world hasn't been the same since.
RIP E3, man.
Meanwhile, back home in Japan and virtually in Kojima Productions' backyard, the Tokyo Game Show first opened its doors in 1996, and the company has been a regular attendee ever since. The show is especially important to Kojima and his colleagues because it's open to the general public.
Jeff Keighley.
まずいろんな海外のショーに行くのは、やっぱりユーザーの人と直接会って、話をしたり触れることでエネルギーをもらえるっていうのが一番
In the Southern Hemisphere, the Go 3 exhibition takes place in Perth, Australia. And in 2007, Hideo Kojima was a featured speaker.
日本にいるとやっぱり、アメリカのユーザーの人あるいはヨーロッパのユーザーの人とかアジアのユーザーの人のことはあまり分からないので直接行くとどの部分
You just want to hire Hollywood actors.
どういうところにメタルの人気があるのかとかどれぐらいの人気があるのかっていうのはもう肌で分かりますしそれを見ることで先ほどの訓練じゃないですけどもやっぱり作るものは変わってくると思います
Held annually since 2002, the Leipzig Games Convention in Germany plays host to thousands of gamers and game makers and has become a crucial stop for Kojima Productions during their video game convention globetrotting. At the inaugural Entertainment for All Expo held in October 2007 in Los Angeles, Kojima Productions offered attendees the first playable taste of Metal Gear Solid 4 in North America.
I think it's the biggest game at the show. I really do think so. From the very beginning, on Thursday morning, we had 100 guys lined up to play the game.
Kojima Productions has also hosted launch events for their games at local stores where players can come and meet some of the Metal Gear creators. Over the airwaves, members of Kojima Productions regularly take part in and even host radio and online broadcasts as a way of reaching out to the fans. Hundreds of thousands of listeners tune into new recordings of the Kojima Productions Report every week for the latest in Metal Gear news and information.
The fans, I think they appreciate the work. They love to know what's going on behind the scenes. And which is why we've been making a point over the past few years to kind of be a little more open and let them kind of peek into the studio.
From the very start, staying in touch with what gamers have to say about their work has been a central defining aspect of the team at Kojima Productions. This respect for their audience will continue as the team moves on beyond Metal Gear Solid 4.
Respect for the audience. Yeah, about that. Exactly. Where was any of this for, you know what? But whatever.
I feel lucky. I mean, I'm doing something different every day. And one day I'm in Hollywood, the next day I'm in Australia, and the next day I'm in a country in Eastern Europe, I'm in Africa. This project, MGS4, is taking me around the world, and I'm very grateful for that. When I was 10 years old, my dad moved us out to more of a rural area, and so all of a sudden I'm kind of by myself, just me and my little brother.
This is all
and I found myself
stuff.
being,
Okay.
you know, spending more time inside and playing a lot more games, and I think that's what really kind of kicked things off.
I would rather them be outside, and with this 2 acres we've got, we could have done lots of fun things down here, but they'd rather be down there and
what a
with
weird
their buddies
choice.
playing these games, and they have a whole bunch of friends over, and
Friday nights,
drinking all my Pepsi and Cokes, and
Oh, is he a
Saturday nights?
everything I'd buy,
addiction?
bring
Right?
home, the kids would come and just take it out of my pantry. There'd be nothing left.
Sunday mornings.
They'd be down there all night and into the next morning playing video games.
It really wasn't until I got the first PlayStation and I saw what games had become with this, like a CD-based format. You have voiceovers, you have more cinematic quality like experience.
Hey, thank you for the raid,
That was
Sally
a
E.
really
Welcome
big
in,
change
guys.
for me. I moved on from a gamer to more interested in the creative aspect. That everything that goes into these games all of a sudden isn't just about the gameplay, but it's about the music.
I don't remember
the
anything from
voiceovers,
this
and the
part.
Total experience. So it really was when Metal Gear Solid hit that I realized that wow, this is a totally different direction than I thought that video games were ever going to go in, and I want to be involved. See, I've done about 15 trips across the pond from Tokyo to LA for this project alone. I think this is my 12th
What is this channel?
trip
We
to
play too
LA
much
this
Metal
year,
Gear and Metal
and
Gear
we're only
related
in
stuff
October,
here.
and I expect to have
That's
3 or
just
4 more
it.
before New Year's. Well, I've always been a bit of a workaholic, even in university.
I really
working
don't give a shit about Ryan Payton.
while studying.
Is it really another hour? No, no way. Look, Ryan Payton, I don't give a shit about your childhood. What the fuck? Why is that so long? Go away.
Because innovation, they have, and
Is it over yet?
obviously our goal for people cleans very.
I guess we'll let this flip.
Everybody's got motivation. They have a purpose or a goal that they want to fulfill by joining the studio, by doing those long hours. And obviously, Mr. Kojima wants to know that. So it took some time. We had a lot of quality time when we were researching the game in Eastern Europe, and we went on that week-long stay. And all these different trade shows from Tokyo Game Show to
He's
E3,
still going.
where we're sharing every meal together. That's where you really got to
20
get to know
minutes
me,
of
that
right.
I'm not doing this for fame or
And
to get
10
my name
seconds
out there,
of
but I'm doing this
Kojima.
because
What the
I love Metal
fuck?
Gear. And after about a year and a half.
Go away.
And
Go away, Ryan Payton. What the fuck?
Just
Are we done yet?
that it was unusual. We were able to visit his office.
Who is this lady?
Like me, who needs constant stimulation. It's
We were able to visit his office the last time we were in Tokyo. And I know that it was unusual for people to go in and visit.
That's his
while
mom,
they're
of
working.
course.
I was just amazed.
It's not just the
of
dad.
how many
They had to
people
interview
were
the mom
there and
too.
how hard they were working.
On that. He's still there. Did he make this? Did he make this fucking documentary too and give himself like 30 minutes of bullshit?
Something that to have a new person come in, there's always that, kind of, what's going to happen over here? How much are you going to try to change? And I think Ryan and I really see eye to eye on the characters, and I think that we really
I'm
also see eye to
confused.
eye on the performances. to the point where in the session, he'll be starting to say something, and I'll say it to the actor, and we'll both say, "Get out of my head."
Working with Ryan was great.
I came over and I edited it before it went to print.
Encyclopedic knowledge.
Hey, thank you for the raid, Sally. No need to apologize.
Ryan and Chris, they're like a machine. You put them together and you got a working machine. It's amazing.
僕らは日本人のほとんど日本人です。フランス人とかいますけど、90% ぐらい日本人で日本でゲームを作ってるんですけど、やっぱりそれでは世界に向けてのものづくりは非常にこう不完全なんですよ。でライアンが、にいろんなものをチェックしてもらって、まあ、ライアンがアメリカ代表ではないんですけども、ライアンの意見を取り入れることで、若干今までとはちょっと違うメタルギアソリッドにはなっていると思いますので、非常にありがたいですね。
We have 200 people working on this game for 3 years who dedicate every day of their lives to it, including a lot of weekends, and they're going home at the last train. And those are like the real stars in the studio. I'm grateful for what I've been giving, but other times I feel
you're still going on, but
Jesus, you know, you get credit for stuff you don't do. My family and being
I don't give a shit, Ryan.
The States is always in the back of my mind.
Enough.
But on the other hand, I'm surrounded by people.
Oh my God, how long?
Make things great.
What we're doing here is
that's insane. There's so much of
just people just kind of give us this look because nobody's ever attempted this before. It's basically a parody on American television, but with a little bit of a darker edge because it's still set in the Metal Gear Solid 4 world. And this is basically like a cool way of giving the player an idea of what the world of MGS4 is like.
The task was to come up with
the making of Ryan Payton.
So each individual show is meant to be a completely different piece of content that some futuristic, non-existent TV network would create. On top of that, there's 5 different commercials for each PMC. It's just kind of a massive undertaking. You have to pretend to be 20 different people that came up with these ideas. It's kind of like a schizophrenic exercise.
The first one I wrote was the cooking show.
Target. Action.
That's cool.
Easy on the heart.
We have the chef who's out of the ordinary. He's not a friendly guy from the kitchen, but we have him cooking for the family.
Holy shit, was that a real
thing? He has a co-host named Rachel. She's taken aback by some of his gestures and the way he speaks.
Got there.
This could be the first channel that comes up. So when they look at this, we want that WTF moment, but we also want them to be intrigued and want to keep watching.
We have been planning this movie sequence for a long time, like 1.5 years. We're gonna shoot the whole thing in 6 days, only 6 days. But Team Logan is very, very talented, so we trust them.
Nice, that's actually kind of nice.
We were thinking of shooting on film, and because of a schedule, and we decided to go with HD video. Red seemed the way to go. Now we've got this 4K resolution files. We're bypassing telecine. We're able to control every part of the process. There's a massive amount of cleanup work that needs to happen on green screen footage. Live action footage of a praying mantis plates where we need to track it. We need to computer generated elements that perfectly match the perspective and the angle and the speed.
The scum who wishes they didn't try.
Man, 4K back then. Even now, I mean, it's enough.
It's really beautiful the way that this opening project has come to be. It's been over a decade in the making. It's Ken, our producer, and Alex, the lead over at Logan, being art school friends, always promising each other that they're going to work together at some point in the future. And here we are, many, many years later, and we need an opening movie for Metal Gear Solid 4, and then we want something cutting edge in pop culture. That's what Logan made for.
It's random.
I don't want you to follow along with us. It looks like it's ready.
watching Alex deliver the final build and having Ken there and watching them load the final files into the game is really cool to see. It's kind of nice to see that this friendship has lasted for so long and they finally accomplished
something about his face really bothers me. Enough, please do something else. Endless Payton. Oh, this is just the actual shows, or is it more in-depth dive? No, it's just the shows themselves.
Yeah. On the heart, good. Filling. Has a nice taste to it.
Nice.
Not
but
today's.
Oh, yeah. And if he says it's filling, you know it's filling. Believe me, he ain't lying. This guy doesn't joke around about his food. Oh, no. He is dead serious. And I'm sure it tastes delicious. It certainly smells.
Yeah, we've seen these a lot.
Fantastic. You've got to.
But it would be cool to go back and pause and look at the little details on them, but not in this potato video.
小島監督は
Oh, this is the thing we were watching earlier, that's right. With the stupid subtitles, this one should be good. The end of the series under my direction. Again.
花が散った後っていうのはその種子が飛ぶわけですよ。もうスネークの体の中にある種子がいろんな DNA が飛んで、それが火星の中を漂いながら新しい新天地で実を結ぶっていうそういう思いの汁です。いろんな遺伝子とかを皆さんに受け継いでもらって、次の世代のクリエイターが、メタルを継続していってくれたらいいなという、そういう、内なる思いというかそういうのがあります。
小島プロダクションは200名近い大所帯。デザイン、プログラム、スクリプト、サウンド、いずれも業界トップクラスのクリエイター集団。広大なフロアの一番奥に小島監督のブースがある。ここから全てのアイディアが生み出される。
僕の席がちょっと汚いです。ここです。ここです。ここでゲームをチェックしながらですね、これに一個一個このアイテムを右にせとか、ここは音はこうせとかっていうのを書いていくんで、こうタコができてしまうのでこうつけてみましたがこうかな。
そのすぐ近くにあるのが新川洋二のブース。
キャラデザイン、メカデザイン、アートデザインの新川洋二さんの部屋です。こんにちは。こんにちは。
2人は長年にわたり共にメタルギアを作り上げてきた戦友だ。
いつもと変わらないんですけど、シリーズとして、キャラクターデザインと世界観の設定というか、絵の部分全般を監修するという仕事ですね。
Playtesting should be soon.
しかし PS3 という新しいハードにより新川の作業量は膨大に膨れ上がっていた。
ライティングとかの作業をしていく上では今までの PS2 とかに比べると、下手したら10倍ぐらいの、時間がかかってるのかなという気がしますね。
What's that shit on the screen? Let's take a look at it. I know some of these words. PS3 dev kit. Nice. A, B, R2, L1, L2. I know, A and B, what? It's not done yet.
ハードによるものだけではない。キャラクターデザイナーの佐々木秀樹は物語の圧倒的なボリュームに悩まされていた。
単純にその PS3 になったから増えた作業量もまあ当然あるんですけども、今回ボリュームがものすごく多い。
本作のデモシーンは8時間以上、登場人物は100人を優に超える。
まあ、コスチュームのバリエーションであったりとか、まあ、いろんなエフェクトの作成であったりとかっていうのも、こちらで担当している、ところもあるので、実質、5倍ぐらい増えていると思います。
作業量の増加により開発は著しく遅れていた。
They also bully him and make fun of him. That's why Johnny is named Johnny Sasaki.
の方も、今結構ボロボロな状態ということを認識しています。MGS4 っていうのは本当に、すごい大きいプロジェクトで、難物だと思います。正直なところ、現在の、経緯ですが、まだちょっとユーザーの期待するレベルには達していないと感じております。
厳しい現実を痛感させられる。不安があるスタッフに小島監督の劇が飛ぶ。
あと数ヶ月で完成しないといけないです。この数ヶ月がですね、ゲームでいうと 50% ぐらいになります。ここで頑張るか頑張らないかでクソゲーになったりいいゲームになったりという、それが重要な時期です。
最後の数ヶ月でゲームのクオリティが決まる。小島監督はスタッフに繰り返し訴えた。
It's really interesting to look back at these now and know what happened.
ゲームデザインを、周知というか繊細にして、石橋叩きながらものを作っていくんですけど、やっぱり全部の部品が揃ってですね、一通り最初から終わりまで音楽も入って、エフェクトも入って、でその流れを通してやってみないとなかなかわからないことがあってですね。でそこでの微調整っていうのが、すごく効いてくるんですよ、細かいところが、作りっぱなしじゃなくて、何度もやりながらいろんな人の意見を聞きながら、細かいところを調整していくと、インタラクティビティなというかインタラクティブなメディアなんで非常にこうかゆいところに手が届くというかですねそういうサービスを提供することができるんですけど、
この時期小島監督は最後の
There
調
you
整
go.
に入り
Kojima playtesting is like, what? There's no snow
ゲー
coming
ムを
up.
プレイし操作性、演出、難易度の調整を行う。
This simply could not have happened for Phantom Pain at all if he played
修
5
正箇
minutes
所を
of
紙
it.
に書き担当者のところに行き指示を出す。
Yeah, right.
これ倉庫のサプレッサーつけてもノイズ発生してて、ぶつかります。
部屋に戻
We
り
should do a
再びゲ
redub
ーム
of
をチェック
this.
する。朝
Like
から晩
Kojima
まで
goes to
ひ
this
たすら
guy. So why does Kaz tell you to destroy your own base, huh? Huh? What? Huh?
部屋に戻
No
り
pay for you this
再び
month.
ゲームをチェックする。朝から晩までひたすらそれを繰り返す。
今サプレッサーをつけてたんです。消音銃をつけて下の銃声がしないのに。
Wait, why is this guy talking to himself again? What are you doing?
銃声というか使ってはいけない。今コーションなんですけど。これバグです。あと
Look how. Oh, I forgot about this part. Wait. I was spotted despite my gun not making any noise. Are you sure? What the fuck did he actually do in the game? Because he might be wrong. That's not how it works.
つけて下の銃声がしないのに見つかったと。今の本当したい。そうです。銃声というか使ってはいけない。今コーションなんですけど。これバグです。あと今やってたのは。
Yeah, but if your bullets hit somewhere near the enemy, even if it's suppressed, it will send them into a caution, Kojima. So what are you doing in the game? That caution is old. It's already at 19, 20. It's almost over. So what the fuck did he do? If he was shooting inside the hangar with the geckos, the dwarf geckos, then the caution is not a bug. But okay. If he was shooting outside, then I guess so, yeah. This caution's old. It's over. You hang from the other side of this railing. Smoke be added to this part. The little bits of smoke, snow coming out off of it. God. Imagine if he did 5 minutes of this with the Phantom Pain. the things that he would notice and just notify people about. 5 minutes of this, the game completely shits itself.
細部にわたり細かい指示を出し続ける。これが検査表と呼ばれる小島監督からの修正依頼書。しかし何とも読みづらい。
ほとんど読めないと思いますけど、これを読めるようになるんです。この汚い字がある日突然読めるようになるんですよ。
本当に読めるようになるのだろうか。小島監督と付き合いの長い松花プロデューサーに話を聞いてみた。
監督と一緒にこうゲームを長年作ってきた人でないとね、読めないと思うんですよね。この紙を監督からこれ来たよパッとこう渡しても伝わんないなと思うことあるんですね。そういう時は逆に通訳書くんです。これはこういうことっていうのを書いて渡したりもしてます。
1月15日、初めてのモニター会が行われた。
ボス敵のチェックというかですね、ちゃんと解けるかとか、大体どういう武器でどれぐらいかかるとか、そんな感じです。
この日は制作スタッフ以外の人間が初めてプレーをする日。3年間の成果が今試される。スタッフの誰もがモニターのプレイを食い入るように見つめていた。
Was that a fucking bootleg controller? Or is it, what is it? No, it's probably the dev kit controller. Like, why doesn't it say Sony on it? PS3D SUG 17. Maybe it's serialized? No, maybe it's gotta be the dev kit controller. That's interesting. Thought it was a fucking bootleg controller for a second. I'm like, what the fuck?
3年間の成果が今試される。スタッフの誰もがモニターのプレイを食い入るように見つめていた。反応は上々。思わず笑みがこぼれる。
うまくはまってる人もいるんで、こっちが用意した。まあでも最初のモニターとしてはいいんじゃないですかね。
しかし別のモニター会では思わぬ問題が発覚。
Shit, I didn't mean to click there. Can you imagine that the average IQ of that room determines what Kojima thinks needs to be adjusted with the game? Like, fuck, where was it? Like, oh, people are getting stuck in this thing, so we have to change this thing. So the average IQ of a room of 20, 50 people determines huge changes for the game to everybody. I don't know.
しかし、別のモニター会では思わぬ問題が発覚した。本作の新機能である奥とかもほとんどのモニターが使用していなかったのだ。
今回の肝っていうか、すごいゲームデザインの中心になっている新しい仕様なんですけど、なんと説明されてなかったっていう、ここに来て当たり前のように僕らはやってたんですけど、今までのシリーズをやってた人はこのオクトカムっていう知りませんので、それを使わずにやってる人がいて、段ボールとかドラム缶をかぶって潜入してる人が多いんですよ。でそれちょっとまずいので、早い段階でオクトカムを教えないといけない。それをどう入れるかっていう今日朝言ってたんですよ。アイコンをゲットした表示を出して、新しいアイテムがありますよっていうことを知らせるのと、あとはちょっとブリーフィングっていう基本の操作がこのように図解で出る、トリセツみたいなものですけど、ここにも入れようかなと思ってますが、データを追加するのでこの時期結構厳しいんですけど、ちょっと入れたいと思います。で入れてみてどうなのかっていうのを今後またモニターとかでチェックすると そういう繰り返し、根気のいるでも楽しいという時期です。
しかし楽しんでばかりはいられない。ゲーム制作につきものなのがバグの発生だ。修正を加えればその都度バグは出る。だが商品にする上でバグは確実になくさなければ。
Oh my god. Show this screenshot to Nightfroid. He thinks the game is finished, but you know, it's a little rough around the edges because of all the bugs. The elimination of bugs is an essential part of finishing up the game. Fuck. The elimination of bugs is essential to finishing up the game. Yeah, that aged well. So by their own definition, it's not finished. Where is this man? Where is this guy?
本来今までちょっとそういう現象なかったものが昨日になっていきなり出てきたり。
This man was fired.
バグを見つけ出す。そのために編成されたのがバグチェック隊。
Bug
彼ら
check
は朝から晩
unit.
までゲームをプレイし、
Their job is to spend the entire day playing the game, hunting for bugs.
バグを探し続け
So they're playing the game wrong. Their job is to play the game wrong.
その隊長を務めるのがメカデザイナー。
How is this? How can this happen? I mean, they must have been aware of it. It just they didn't give a fuck or didn't have time to give a fuck.
又手圭一。
今何件ぐらい見つかってるんですか？
どんどん治ってるものもあるんですけど、1万2000ぐらいじゃないですかね。
最終的にどれぐらいまで？
わからないですね、正直なところ。まだ今から
Fox Engine. Oh, is he detected? Oh,
新規要素が入ったりとか、
fucking way.
まあ紙の面とか調整とかも入って、まだまだ変化していくので、どんどん不具合が。
Do you think I should praise everything that Kojima does because I get
小
paid
島
to play
監督
Metal
を筆
Gear?
頭にスタッフは
That's
ギリ
not
ギ
how
リ
any
ま
of
で
this
クオリ
works.
ティを上げようとする。野尻慎太もその一人だ。野尻は本作でバイクイベ
This
ント
part
と
makes me
尾
so
行イベントを
fucking
担当している。
furious, man. It's
私の
insane.
趣味の思考の問題なんでしょうけど、やっぱりゲーム私が入ると割とちょっとこうバカなものを入れたくなるという形で、
They did 30 seconds
敵に向か
of
って
that.
グレネード投げちゃったりとか、関係って3日って連行されたりとか、ちょっとあそこだけ毛色が違うかなっていうのがあるんですけど、まあそこら辺はエンジョイしていただけると。
ギリギリまでクオリティを上げようとするのは内部スタッフのみではない。今回オープニングを担当したのはローガンのアレクセイ・ティレビッチ。彼はギリギリまで作業を続け、ハンドキャリーで日本にデータを持ってきた。ティレビッチ氏に小島監督の印象を聞いてみた。
I understand that he is a very passionate person and he is a perfectionist, which I can relate to, and I think he'll every little detail has to be perfect in order for the whole to be perfect. Like even him playing the demo, he's noticing little things here and there that could be better. He's able to see the big picture and also little details that make up the creative whole, you know, which I think is very difficult to keep in your head. So I'm not sure how he does it.
しかし監督本人は自分を完璧主義者とは思っていないようだ。
本来はもう完璧主義者であったはずなんですけど、
There's no way. There's no fucking way that this man released Phantom Pain.
インタラクティブなんでユーザーが最後自分で完成させるんですよ、ゲームって、いろんな遊び方をするんで、それを考えると、まあ、僕らができるのはここまでっていうラインがあって、だからこそ商品ができるんですよね。でもともと僕は小説とか書いてた頃もありましたし、映画も撮りたかったんですけど、そうなると自信はないです。完成させる自信はずっといじってるかもしれないです。ゲームだからこそできるというか、ゲームだからこそこれ以上はこだわっても、どうしようもないっていう限界みたいなのが見えてくるので。
Yeah, especially if you self-impose that limit by spending
映画
money
や小
elsewhere.
説に夢中な少年だった。それなのになぜゲームの世界に飛び込んだのだろうか。
あの頃は今、これほど PS3 とかこういう性能はなかったんですけど、それでもすごい可能性が見えたんですよ、この新しいメディアとして。映画とか小説とはもっと違う進んだ、もっとこう若くするようなそういうメディアに見えたんですよね。でまだあの当時っていうのは、業界に入った時はやっぱり夢破れてゲーム業界っていう人が多かったです。今とは違って脚光を浴びてなかったんですけど、漫画家崩れ、バンド崩れ、そういう人ばっかりです。グラフィックデザイナー崩れとか。でもやっぱり自分が夢見た世界でご飯を食べたいっていうそういう人たちばっかりなんですよね。CD 出したけど売れなかったけどやっぱり音楽の仕事がしたいからって言って、それが20年前はみんなそうでしたね、開発の人って。だからすごい同じような感じの人たちがいて、すごい頑張りましたね、みんな。なんとしてもゲームっていうメディアを高めたいと、今はバカにされてるけどっていうことで、あの時の雰囲気は何とも言えない。
村岡プロデューサーは小島監督と同期入社。彼は小島監督が手掛けたポリスノーツに今までにないゲームの可能性を感じたという。
話として見ただけですごい面白くって、もうゲームにするまでもなく、面白いもので、実際にゲームを今度プレイしてみると、私もその制作に加わってたんですけど、ストーリーだけではわからない、またドラマみたいなのが絵になって出てきて、すごい感動したんですね。それでこういうことがゲームの中でそういうことができる人ってすごいなって、その時思いました。
ゲームにしかできないことがある。だからこそ少しでもいいゲームを作りたい。その思いに突き動かされるように、小島監督は連日修正の指示を出し続ける。
もういついつまでって決まってる中で、こんな状態では出したくないと、こうしたいのにできないっていう悩みがずっとあるんですよ。もうこれがこのまま出たらまずいと、もっとクオリティ上げたいとか、
see, that's why I think they can do anything about it.
作品のことしか考えられない。
だが手を動かせばその都度バグは発生する。進行不能、絵が出ない、音が鳴らない、さまざまなバグがスタッフを苦しめる。
Maybe they're stupid.
例えばこのままエクシストなりエグジットで出てタイトルに戻って、
全体がなるかどうか。どうしようかな。
いや本当に なってないんですよ。システムもなってないんですよ。常駐もなってないんですよ。
バグをなくすのはプログラマーの使命。リードプログラマーのコレカドユージは限界を感じていた。それは2月18日のリーダー会議でのことだった。
安定化したものを出します。でそれ出さないと絶対終わりません。
だからそれは出すって言ってる。
What do you say?
いやだから出すから。
We have to stabilize the game. We won't finish it if we don't.
いやだから出すから、それ出すために一回手を置きませんか、みんな。これ出した後に今ずっとやってたら3月末も多分ダメですわ。
商品を確実に発売するため、コレカドは修正作業の中断を提案した。
それと
では出されへんからね、だって。
そうですね。
全
部今のままやってたら上がらないと思います。
だからね、こんだけ上がってきましたっていう、そのやり方がおかしい。
やり方がおかしいんですよ。
更新の仕方がおかしいから、その直さな進まへんやんか。そういう議論ないもんだって。
Imagine this but amplify a million for Phantom Pain.
できませんって。
そこやる変えたいんです。だからそこ変えたいんで。
いやだからそれは譲歩せなあかんので。
Yeah, Fox Engine's most refined game has
手を動かしたら
survived.
絶対バグりますよ。それは人ですもん。
そんなこと言ったらものなんか作られへん。
いやだからそれは
How can you believe
絶対やっちゃいけ
Oh
な
my
いことなんですけども。
god! Some of these lines are fucking gold, man. I need to screenshot these and tweet them to Nitroid. How can you be involved in developing games with that mindset? Oh my god.
なんでバグってんのか知りたい。おかしいね。だって
でも手動かしたら絶対バグりますよ。それは人ですもん。
そんなこと言ったらものなんか作られへん。
いやだからそれは絶対やっちゃいけないことなんですけども、コストとして計算しておかないと商品が危ないんですもん。それは
クオリティを上げたい監督と
One can only
データ
imagine.
を安定させたいプログラマー、それぞれの立場がぶつかり合う。
One can only imagine like this amplified times a million for the fucking disaster the Fox engine was.
でもそうだと思いますよ、監督的には。でやっぱり監督の方はその子はこうどんどん言っていただいてですね。でもまあ私はプログラマーはそれを止めてでも安定したバージョンを作らなくちゃいけないんで、そこでやり取りしながら一番いい落としどころを見つけていかなくちゃいけないんで、まあ仕方ないですね、これは。
だが修正を加え続けるリスクは監督自身も感じていた。
僕の立場としては安定させたいです。やっぱりスケジュール一番責任持ってますから。ただそうはいえどもですね、現状のクオリティでは出したくないというか出せないですよね。やっぱり皆さんの期待値っていうのがありますから、そこをどう回避するかっていうので最終的な出力が変わってくるっていうのまあ一つの一面で。
They didn't do either for the
できませんっていうのは簡単なんですけども、普通できないことをやるから評価されるんで、それをどう可能にするか。どの部分を可能にしてどの部分を
And this is why there will never be the making of MGS documentary.
安全策っていう意味では彼の言っていることは正しいんですけども、クオリティも高めながら、納期も守ると。これができる人がプロであると。
他のスタッフは2人の主張をどう感じていたのだろうか。
どっちも正しいと思いますしね。というのは、それはもうあってしかるべきというか。
これ門さんも製品にするためだったら、やっぱり鬼にしないといけない部分はあると思うんで、まあ僕も同じ思いはありましたけどね。
だがサウンドデザイナーの牧村良二は本作にかける小島監督の強い思いを感じていた。
A rushed game is forever bad, but a game that's worked on is eventually good. A late game is eventually good. Didn't that, who was it? That Nintendo guy who said it. A rushed game is forever bad. A delayed game is eventually good. Which one do you want? I mean, it's a simple answer.
っていう言い方をされるんですよね。
毎回。
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, okay.
っていうか、今回は。
I don't give a fuck if he said it or not. It's true. I'm not trying to appeal to him here for this.
今までもありましたけど、今回はちょっと。
Yes, patch.
ちょっと大きな問題かもしれないですね。そこまでこの時期になってそこまでのことを言ったことは今までなかったです。
本作の主人公は年老い傷ついたオールドスネーク。小島監督は年老いても戦い続けるスネークに自らの姿を重ね合わせていた。
This tomato master guy must be an MGS
やっぱり
defender.
10年間一緒にやってきてるんで、ゲームの作り方メタルの作り方をずっと教えてきたんですよ。教えてきたつもりだったんですけど、やっぱりなかなか3でもうまくいかず、最後また僕が入ってやり直したんですけど、そういうこともあって、やっぱり
You one of those people, if you can't do it yourself, you shouldn't comment on it.
あるんじゃないかっていうのが今回のテーマで、伝えられないものがセンス、最後に残った人の意志とか生き様とか、そういったものの代表が年老いてもなおかつ戦い続けるスネークであり僕であるっていう。
スタッフに伝えなければいけないことがある。そのためには自らの行動で示さなければならない。未だにバグは出続ける。だが小島監督は修正の手を緩めない。
We would literally all be naturally selected against if everybody thought like that. Oh, if you can't do it yourself, don't talk about it, yeah? Don't complain.
リスクは大きい。だが一つの修正がゲームをより面白くしていく。
もう場合によってはもう、
Right,
こういうのは治らないだろうなということも、別に
Was it not Beretta?
出てくると書くと思うんですよね。
Alice
間に合う
Smithy?
間に合わないに関わ
No,
ら
that
ず
was 4, sorry, I forgot. It's just confusing because it's an MGS3 engine, yeah.
ひょっとしたらそれがこう今回は間に合わないけど同じようなゲームを作った時に後日そのスタッフがなるほどなっていうことでプラスになるかもしれないじゃないですか。 こういうところをこう小島プロの作品としては放置できないよねっていうのを先にこう気づいていけるようになっているスタッフっていうのもやっぱり何人かいますし、そういうスタッフがもっと増えてこないとダメだ。なんで僕は全部毎回一からこういうこと書かないとダメなんだっていうことをいつも怒られてます。まあうちらの覚えが悪いんですけど、徐々にはそういうスタッフも出てきているはずです。
Well, he's right about one thing. Phantom Pain is only fun because it's a mess. And I play it to cope with how much of a mess it is. But after that, I mean, imagine getting into a series and not playing the next game. Or how the fuck was I supposed to know that I was gonna hate the game before playing it, huh? It's always either, oh, why do you play games you hate, or what do you talk about play games that you don't know about? You know, just shut the fuck up.
サニーの音声を一部再収録することにしたのだ。だが、今から音声データを変更することは大きなリスクを伴うことになる。
この時期に撮り直すっていうのは普通あるんですかね。
ないと思います。初めてです。
いろんな
Also, they did actually do. Yeah, they did actually re-record it with the whole thing ready.
っていうのも結構あるんです。それでこの時期にそこまで制作の過程を戻すのは結構大きいことなんですけど。
しかしリスクの大きさを一番感じていたのは監督自身だった。
It's rising again. するのはおかしいんですけど、そういう判断です。ちょっと今回悲壮感のあるお話なので、その中でもちょっと光るような、3人に変えた方がいいかなと。絵がない状態で、モーションキャプチャーの、アクターさんの動きに合わせてやっていただいてたんですけど、やっぱり3人の表情とか、瞳の輝きとかです。
See, he agrees with what I said earlier. It should be done after.
もうちょっと明るい、後半の3人にちょっと近い方がいいのかなと。
2月21日、サニーの音声の再収録が始まった。
喫音に対するその緊張感みたいなのもなくていいと思います。キャンベルのおっさんがいるんですけど、あの人はまあ何回か会ってると思うんで。
I don't know what kind of point Tomato Master is trying to make. What is it that you loved Phantom Pain and its development process? Nothing went wrong? That Kojima can do no wrong? What is your point that you're trying to make?
もうちょっと言ってください。はい、声を張ってるんですけど、怒ってるんじゃなくてっていうちょっと微妙なこと言ってます。
Or that somehow this level of care that went into MGS4 is nowhere to be seen in the Phantom Pain, which is a factual statement.
ここは禁煙なんだから。
今だいぶテンション低かったんです。
Why don't you just fucking direct everything, Kojima?
かなり普通でいいと思います。
She's stuck in the booth forever.
気がついて驚くところはちょっと驚きすぎだったんで。
求めるニュアンスが出るまで何度でもリテイクを繰り返す。
36番、もうちょっと怒った感じの。
See, he's voice acting. He's directing the voice acting instead of.
禁煙なんだからっていう感じのやつで、春怒るじゃなくて、はい。はい。お願いします。
タバコの摂取はやめられないのね。
ああ、これはね。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Did she not stutter in Japanese? Or maybe I can't even tell.
いや、大丈夫です。ここは大人っぽくて、タバコの摂取ですから。天才少女。
タバコの摂取はやめられないのね。
My God, that does not
音声収録
sound right.
音声収録は無事終了。だが、またしても大きな修正が出た。
もともとのシナリオでは3人は違うところに引き取られてっていう。抜けたようにしましょうか。そこだけ。
すみません、お待たせしました。
ごめんなさい。
So do you know if Sonny's supposed to stutter in Japanese too, or? I mean, what would Naomi say about it if he doesn't?
ここに来てエンディングの一番最後のセリフを変更したのだ。
みんな早く焼けたよ。 日はまた昇る。
はい、ありがとうございます。
こっち作りましょう。
Oh, they actually use a
小島
file
監
clip.
督に
Nice.
変更の理由を聞いてみた。
スネーク春兄さん焼けたよっていうセリフよりも、
that
みん
wasn't
な
the tone. It
早
was
く焼けたよと、そのみんなの中に誰がいるかはユーザーが想像すると。もしかしたらスネークかもしれないですし、ライデンかもしれないし、全然違う新しい、まあ、友達かもしれませんし、そういう想像を最後してもらうっていうのが意図です。ちょっとでも悩みがあるとあの段階ではやめるべきなんですよ。ただ僕の中ではしっくりきたんで、多分皆さんもこう気に入っていただけると思います。
妥協はしない。時間の許す限り極限までクオリティを高め続ける。それが小島秀夫のゲーム制作だ。
What?
2月25日、この日重要な発表があった。
水曜日ぐらいまでチェック修正繰り返します。で、木曜日もしここで大きな修正がなかったら、もうそれを金曜日にマスタリングして、
I can't believe it.
ファーストマスターとはハードメーカーに提出するディスクのこと。このディスクをもとにさまざまな検証が行われる。バグが発見されればマスターは再提出になる。だが社内の雰囲気は奇妙に当たる。小島監督にその理由を聞いた。
ランナーズハイじゃないんですけど、ゲーム開発ハイみたいな状態になる時があって、もう楽しくてしゃあないんですよね。だから予定は予定であるんですけど、眠たくもなければどんどん仕様を入れて面白くして、次の日また面白くなってるんで、それは一人一人の意識として残るとすごいパワーになるんですよ。
時間の許す限りクオリティを上げ続けるスタッフたち。
空の色味をちょっと再調整してます。3度目の正直で滑り込みで調整させてもらってます。
当然面白くしたいっていう気持ちはすごく強いので、これはちょっと押せばできそうだと思えばちょっとプログラマーの方に強引に割って入って無理やりお願いするということもあります。
僕はプログラマーなんで、バグは当然直しますけど、その他にも自分でここみっともないなみたいな部分は、もうギリギリだろうと直したりしています。
ゲームってもう最後の最後にまとまってくると出来上がっていくものなんで、ちょっと出来上がってくるとテンション上がってきますよね。製品のスケジュールを見て立ち止まることも一つの勇気だとは思うんですけど、でもそれをもし頑張って入れられるものならいいものになるって時に、
Damn, I've been raging about this shit for the past 45 minutes.
いいものにしたいっていうのはやっぱりどうしてもスケジュール関係なく出てきますよね。
その思いがゲームのクオリティを急速に高めていく。
すごい。
あそこはですね、ヘリに乗ってるスネークの顔が一瞬 MGS1 の頃のローポリゴンの顔から始まるというちょっとした小ネタなんですけど、とりあえず何でもいいからやってみようということでスタッフに依頼したんですよ。そして1時間後ぐらいに「できました」とかいきなり言われて、で見に行ったらモーフィングみたいな感じで、サクッとできてるんですよ。
あっこから始まる。
モーフィング？
違う。あっこから始まる。ふわって言った時にもう顔が出てヒュッと変わるから。
最初のサニーちゃんの声はちょっとすごく心を閉ざしてる感じで、あと割とドスの効いたというか低い声だったんで、表情もそれに合わせてちょっと暗い感じの、ムッとしたような顔だったんですけど、2回目はちょっともっと悲しそうなっていうか寂しそうな顔になったし、笑うところももっと柔らかい感じの笑い方になったんで、ちょっと可愛く見えるようになったと思います。
やはり時間も労力もかかったので、その東欧のラスト米軍がリギッドを囲むところをちょっと 見ていただきたいなと。こう表
Yeah,
示
I
して
went
い
to
るキャラ
Walmart
数
doing this cutscene
で
once.
すとか、あとエフェクト数、あと
Do a
街
whole
並み
grocery run
も
doing it.
かなり大掛かりなものになってまして、もうかなり大変な作業にはなったんですが、なんとかこうメタルクオリティのものに達しているものが出せたかなと自分では自信を持ってます。
まあ、メインはシャドウムソスのステージリーダーということで、まあ、ステージをまとめさせていただきました。雪の質感があんまり出てなかったんで表情をつけてって空も吹雪と
Wait, I want to watch that again. 3 months earlier.
たんで表情をつけてってました。雪の質
感
あんまり出てなかったんで表情
Okay.
をつけてって空も吹雪と雰囲気がすごく合うようにしています。
一人一人の粘りがゲームをより面白くしていく。
It really
そして2月
doesn't make
29
any
日
sense. What the fuck were they thinking? with like why? How could these people?
この日無事ファーストマスターが完成した。3月10日、この日は初めて海外メディアを招いたモニター会。
Is this event? This
世界中のプレスが驚きの声を上げる。小島監督はパーティーにサプライズ登場。
That's where he started sending angry emails.
本当に人を驚かせるのが好きな人だ。最後にこんな質問をぶつけてみた。
まだちょっと決めてませんけど、若いクリエイターにディレクションを委ねて、僕は一歩引きながら、新しいメタルギアの
Of course
見ながらっていうそういうイメージ。
Sorry.
次回は、プロデュースをしながら、自分のゲームはオリジナルの全く新しいものを、それこそ10年ぐらい前の企画なんですけど、それが一番濃いんですよ。
I've only been trying to do it for 25 years. I mean,
どうやって作ろうかなとか、あるいはその背景をもっと調べないといけないんで、いろんな本も読まないといけないですし、取材もしないといけないんで、それをこういろいろ考えながらやってるとこう時間がすぐ経ってしまうので、まあなるべく考えないように、今はメタルをほどほどに考えながらっていう感じです。
小島監督は
it was 42 when the development
メ
started.
タルギアを離
They
れ
were born
新たなゲー
63.
ム開発に向かう。
Do the
だが
math.
メタル
45 when
の遺
it
伝子
was
は語
over,
り
I
継がれ
guess.
次の世代に受け継がれるだろう。花が種をまくように思いは残される。
Ripperino's Kojima's ambition of passing on the series. Yeah, how about that? Only 20 years of struggles. And finally, when he did it, we got fucking Death Stranding. It was too late. Oh well. Let's at 46:15 in this next video. You guys want to laugh?
And again, while the rules changed when they came back and made the next.
Fucking Zimmerman. You can't take anything that she says seriously because of this. What is this video called? The inside story of recording Metal Gear Solid. Alright, here's why you don't trust anything that comes out of this woman's mouth.
One. No. We have to do this the right way.
So can you talk about how surreal it was to do the Twin Snakes recording for the GameCube where you had to re-record the entire game?
Because we all got to be together again. It was a little bit like old home week. It was kind of weird to redo the whole thing again because they could just use the tracks. But I have a feeling that had something to do with the union rules, and it's called. I'm as bad at being a lawyer as I am at technical things. Incorporation. So when you take something from one project and put it into another project, there's a certain price that has to be paid.
Oh.
And I believe it's the entire amount that however many days that actor worked, you would put the same amount in there. So it ended up being financially better off for them to redo
You're a real
it.
egotistical woman.
It was financially better to redo it. Bastards.
Do you have any preference between the two sets of readings, like Metal Gear 1 versus Twin Snakes?
I would say that we probably all understood it a lot better in Twin Snakes. So part of me would lead to that. However, I also think that that's when they changed the accents. At first, they backed off the accents there. And that I preferred having them. And
shut the fuck up.
There's also something about just the freshness of the first one.
Over the time of the series, it
Oh
has
my
really
God.
become apparent to me how many
No. So she just wanted the accents, but it was financially better to re-record it. And so what's the source for the reason of being the audio quality? Who came up with that? It's actually it was cheaper to redo it. I forgot about that. I remember that she said, "Oh, you understood it better in Twin Snakes."
Having them, and there's also something about just the freshness of the first one.
Yeah, no, but she thinks they understood better. All
Part
right.
of me would
better. Is she like financially obligated to praise a newer product or
in
something?
Twin Snakes.
Oh my God.
I would say that we probably all understood it a lot better in Twin Snakes. So part of me would lead to that. However, I also think that that's when they changed the accents. At first.
Yeah, she says part. Okay, it's not as bad as I remember it, but just that quote that we understood it better with Twin Snakes. Yeah. Colonel, you double cross me. Okay. About revenge and shim. Oh, fuck. The recording. Jesus Christ. No, okay, no, this is actually starting to make a little bit more sense. No, the union thing, of course, they just fucking ruined it, huh? It was Hader who brought up the poor quality of the original record. So he was just being trying to hide the real reason, huh? I don't know. Okay, that's actually way more interesting than just laughing at her thinking they understood the Twin Snakes better or whatever by the time. Maybe she, whatever she means by the script or the, I don't want to look at her anymore. The script or the recordings themselves, whichever one she's talking about, it makes no sense because it's objectively worse in every way. So it doesn't really make much sense. Maybe it was cheaper and they tried to replace it. Okay, you know what? Let's not go into Twin Snakes territory, but shit. That was incorporation. So then when they made MGS, okay. Oh, I think I know what it is. Because this must have come into play when MGS4 integrated MGS1 lines. Was it also cheaper to use? Because either way, you're reusing something from a previous game. So maybe the issue of the audio quality was about MGS4. But the reason they re-recorded it for Twin Snakes was the union financial shit. I think that's what it is. Because we were talking about two different things. Two different reasons for two different things. The reason that they didn't reuse the voices in Twin Snakes, and the reason that they used Twin Snakes voices in MGS4. They're separate. Incorporation and audio quality. I think that's what it is. Oh my god. Because once you have both Twin Snakes and MGS1, the real MGS1 voices available for MGS4, it's just a stupid choice not to pick the good ones. Unless it was somehow cheaper for them to use Twin Snakes lines. I think they were literally just looking at the bit rate of the file. And the whole story about the background noise in MGS1's recordings, where did that originate from? Because that's what we've been talking about for years. Like, oh, the quality, instead of the quality of actual voice acting, they look at the quality of the audio file. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, I remember, but what's the first one? Shit, this you know what? In a way, though, it was the right thing to do. Fighting her cleansed her soul, an asshole snake. Because if everything in Twin Snakes is bad as it is, it just kind of fits together. It would have been extremely out of place to have good voice acting and bad everything else, or good music and bad everything else. You know, some people are like, "Oh, just mod the original music in it now, or mod the original voice acting, or why didn't they use the original voice acting?" But when everything is bad, then it just kind of works together. You know, I would feel bad for the music if it wasn't Twin Snakes, if the real MGS1 music wasn't Twin Snakes, or the original voice acting. I would actually feel bad for it. So I think in a way, in a fucked up way, it works. Because if the music and the voice acting and everything else is terrible, you know, the controls, the lighting, the atmosphere, the voice effects, just fucking everything. So it kind of worked. But reusing the original lines would also imply that they couldn't change the script. Oops. Right? So it was fucked either way. Do you guys want to watch this entire video? Or, I mean, I just wanted to play the me part of it, but we can also dick around MGS4 a little bit. I've been meaning to do a dick around dick around run for a while. Yeah, I just wanted to play this part of it. And we'll do some dicking around in about 5 minutes or so. God, MGS V has all of these